And JoinDeleteMe.com isn't AI. It's real people working to keep your data safe. Keep your private life private with JoinDeleteMe.com. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to JoinDeleteMe.com/news and use promo code NEWS at checkout. Go to JoinDeleteMe.com/news and enter code NEWS at checkout. That's JoinDeleteMe.com/news.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A legal showdown over ticket prices. Lisa Brady, Fox News, for things like concerts and sporting events.
We allege that Live Nation has illegally monopolized markets across the live concert industry in the United States for far too long. It is time to break it up.
Attorney General Merrick Garland announcing a Justice Department antitrust lawsuit. Live Nation, which merged with Ticketmaster in 2010, calls the allegations baseless and says the lawsuit won't solve the issues fans care about relating to ticket prices, fees, and access to shows. A bipartisan border bill gets another chance today in the U.S. Senate after Republicans blocked it in February, with many saying it won't stem the flow over the southern U.S. border, and that bringing it back up now is a Democrat gimmick ahead of the November election. Democrats say the bill would be the strongest immigration reforms in decades. President Biden set to hold a joint news conference with Kenya's president as they pledge to bring the countries closer together.
Because the past is our proof that we are stronger and the world is safer when Kenya and the United States work together.
One of today's agreements to establish strategic dialogue on deepening collaboration on artificial intelligence. The FAA proposing a fix for another issue with Boeing jets, this time affecting about 300 777s. It's an electrical problem that could lead to a fire or explosion.
Boeing is the one who first noticed this issue back in November. It told the airlines about the problem and how to fix it. And then in March, the FAA put forward what's called an airworthiness directive that would make that fix mandatory.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble, Boeing recently clarifying the potential threat is only during refueling, not while flying. Boeing remains under scrutiny for a series of safety issues, including a mid-air door panel blowout in January. America is listening to Fox News.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Happy full moon, everybody. And on this Thursday afternoon, partly to mostly sunny skies, nothing more than a spot thunderstorm, 82. Tonight, clouds take over, scattered thunderstorms late night, 66. Friday, clouds, some sun, but count on scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday, 85. Saturday, a lot of dry time. Sunday, focus on wet. And Monday, pretty good day, 78. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babel.
Babel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babel for free at Babel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Mortgage rates have finally dropped. That's right. Golden Oak has 5.375% fixed rates available right now. Our average cash-out customer saves over $1,000 a month. Call today and take advantage of our 5.375 fixed rate. Call 314-567-GOLD. That's 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.934 APR. FHA 15-year 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Download the free Upside app and earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
The Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, happy Thursday. Gosh, you guys, this feels like a Monday to me. I'm going to be messed up all day. Thank you for joining us this afternoon while you're out and about, grabbing a lunch maybe on a beautiful, beautiful Thursday afternoon here in St. Louis. Take us back to the office with you, back home with you on your radio, 97.1 FM Talk, of course, and on that Odyssey app, AUDACY, 97.1 goes everywhere you go, if you so choose, when you listen to us on the Odyssey app. The YouTube poll question for today, I'm just going to say this and get it out of the way because I want to tell it to you at the beginning because we are definitely going to revisit this with Tyrus at 1:05 today, so in an hour from right now, and we'll discuss it in the 2 o'clock hour along with your comments. Here's the poll. Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? Yes or no? I understand that there are other third-party candidates. None of them are as polling as high as RFK Jr. are. They all could be consequential in the election, but not in the way that involves them actually becoming the president. So it's a simple question today. Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates, yes or no? I'll be curious to see what Tyrus has to say about that at 1:05. I've heard a lot of coverage of what's going on in the state of Missouri. The legislative session wraps up. I don't talk about Missouri as much on the show, and it's by design. I know that there are many of you who are listening who are Missouri listeners, probably 60-40, 65-35 audience here on 97.1 locally, listening on the radio on 97.1. You're Missouri people. You care deeply about what's going on in the state of Missouri, and you've got a big election ahead of you. You know, with Brad and Ryan and myself, we all live in Illinois, and 2 years ago, remember the red tsunami that didn't happen? Well, the blue tsunami hit Illinois in the worst possible way, and we did not accomplish anything in 2022.
It was rough.
It was rough. It was extra rough, as goes being a conservative, a Republican in the state of Illinois. Pivot over to Missouri, and it's my understanding you guys feel like you got a lot of problems. You are not satisfied with the way your state government is legislating. And it's a very interesting dichotomy for me to look at Illinois and see the dissatisfaction that Republicans, and we do exist in Illinois. Many of them are sitting here right now listening to this show and this station, of course, in Illinois, shaking their heads about how ridiculous we are in the state of Illinois. But I got a lot of you out there right now who are listening in Missouri, and you're shaking your heads too. Isn't it interesting that when you send Republicans sweeping the seats nearly in Missouri, that the problems aren't automatically fixed? I think that that's the real lesson for people to learn here, that you cannot. You know, Brad, I think that we in Illinois are this. I mean, we're not in a 12-step program. I know this is an infinite step program.
I wish there was a 12-step program. Then at least we would know like where we're at.
Isn't step one identifying that there's a problem?
Yes. We've identified that.
Yeah. Some of us have. We just need to be a squeakier wheel. If you were in Illinois, you'll have a lot of people who will tell you this. I mean, we're past our primary. Missouri's primary coming up in August, and it's a very hot primary. You would think in the state of Illinois that we'd solve a lot of our problems by sending Republicans to govern. Wouldn't it be nice, Brad, if we were in the state of Illinois to have this overabundance of Republicans who couldn't Republican hard enough?
I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have that. I mean, it'd be nice to have some of the rhinos, quote unquote, that Missouri has.
I'll take them.
Yeah, send them over our way. We'll be happy to, because, man, I think you use cobalt. We are cobalt blue in Illinois.
I always say that because Harris Faulkner calls Jersey cobalt blue. She lives in Jersey. And I'm like, ooh, that's how I feel. And it makes it seem prettier.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a nice deep blue.
I like that, Corinne.
But
but Missouri, you got the Republicans. The problems are not solved. I think it's a good lesson to learn. And Missouri has the opportunity this year to make a dramatic change in the direction that the Republican majority is going to send the state. I'm excited to see what they do. And just for me to be explicitly clear in what I'm saying here and what I'm not saying. I am envious of the issues that Republicans have in the state of Missouri, but I don't diminish them. This is the ultimate point here, especially Missouri. You've got the opportunity in front of you to vote in a primary. This is where Missouri, you are further along in the process, way past step one, identifying that there's a problem. You have identified what the problem is, and that's far left progressive Democrat representation. And you're working through to try to figure out how to implement the alternative to that as best you can. Now, I think that Democrats can be part of a conversation and refine Republican representation, refine Republican policy in a way that every time you are in a position to be challenged on the policy that you're bringing to the table in any way, shape, or form, I believe that engaging in that conversation will bring you to a better solution at the end. And if you push everything else away and you're unwilling to be challenged, you will never refine. Republicans in the state of Missouri are going to have the opportunity to elect the kind of Republicans that they want to see in leadership. We're going to speak to one of those candidates for governor, and of course, currently in the state legislature, State Senator Bill Eigel will join us at 1:25. I'm going to be honest, as an Illinoisan listening in, yes, IP reform, I get it. I'm 98% sure I'm in full support of IP reform. I try not to pound my fist on the table too much for things that won't unfortunately directly affect me because I live in cobalt blue Illinois. But it's frustrating to see that what seems obvious to Republican voters, that the legislature isn't there to get that done. What I'm committing to you at 1:25 is we're not going to have a full conversation with State Senator Bill Eigel, who wants to represent you as the governor. And you've got some great choices in Missouri for governor. It's not going to be a whole conversation about IP reform. I'm going to ask him about the future of Missouri. I think we've talked a lot about the past, but what do Missouri Republicans want? And what about the ones who are in the Republican Party but may not clearly want the same thing that the super deep-rooted Freedom Caucus conservative Republicans want, in a city like St. Louis? There are Republicans here. There are Republicans in the city of Chicago. They do not look like we do in Southern Illinois. I guess the question in the legislature for Missouri is, what does that look like in the lawmaking process when you do have a bigger, broader tent? But in the state of Missouri, maybe those center-based Republicans, maybe their voice isn't loud enough. Maybe they've found themselves in positions of leadership, which is probably where the key issue is going to have to be. How are these people who are elected into Jefferson City going to choose leadership? Because there's so much power that goes along with that. We've heard from the Freedom Caucus in D.C. Illinois has had a Freedom Caucus a lot longer than Missouri, which just shows you how dramatically different it is. Like, Missouri didn't seem like they were thinking, like, we are a Freedom Caucus. Yeah. We're freaking Missouri. Like, we've been standing for freedom for we don't need to label it because this is what we do. Illinois, there's like, I don't know, I don't want to get the number wrong, a dozen people that are like, you know what we should do? We should just put a label on ourselves so people can refer to the dozen of us. By one name, and it's the Freedom Caucus, and they've been pushing that. Blaine Willauer is part of it and has been on our show many times to discuss it. Here's the challenge on a broader sense of what I think we all need to be thinking about in our elections, whether we're voting in a state like Illinois, where you're pretty much talking national elections, and then, of course, those very important state House representatives and state senator elections. These are dramatically important in the state of Illinois. And tomorrow at the state convention, which the Republicans said, we're going to put this in Madison County, Illinois, taking it down southwest to Madison County, because they found something that has worked here locally in their county level. St. Clair County, we've been with them. They are definitely making strides and efforts to try to, it's not about taking it to the far right wing, folks. It's about reinstating common sense. Because we have a dramatic attack nationally on abject truth, on what we know to be real and what we have up until this point in time been willing to keep our mouths shut, because most of us are pretty decent, nice people. And even though in your head you're like, I don't know what that's all about, you're in a position to watch people do and say things that are absolutely ridiculously diametrically opposed to what is true, real, scientific, biologic. And we have, because we're nice people, sat around and been like, I'm not here to offend that person. I don't need to disaffirm somebody for me. I don't need to be that person who's going to try to ruin someone's day because I disagree with them. That's most of us. But the instances and the aggression with which the anti-truthers have made it a pillar part of what the true opposition, the Democrat, far left, progressive policies have done to our entire country, our entire way of life. It really is time where if we don't stand up and speak up, we at least need to put our hand up and go, just stop. Stop. It's absolutely ridiculous. You just need to stop. I can't stress enough how frequently I am confronted with people, and there's video cameras everywhere on everybody, who they just repeat a lie that I believe some of these people have been told enough that they actually kind of believe it, but on no check, no balance of information against, no testing of the theories that have been put into their heads. In reality, they just regurgitate it. There is this brokenness, this deep gaping hole that exists inside, honestly, all of us. But a certain percentage of us that needs to be filled with perpetual active acceptance. The left has monetized it. The left has commoditized it. The left has tried to do two things: amplify everything about yourself that feels vulnerable, that feels unacceptable, that feels dirty, that feels unusual, abnormal. Everybody has these things, and you are the only one who knows the deepest, darkest thoughts that you've had before that make you feel like I'm a pretty unacceptable person. That part about me is not normal. You've worked pretty hard to grow up, mature, evolve in a way where those parts of you you've put in a separate place, and you've lived your life in a way that is honorable and respectable to yourself and to those around you. What the left has done culturally is looked to try to take those things that exist in us where we're unsure about ourselves and prioritize that over everything else that is about you so they can exploit it. Now, some of those things that we repress about ourselves, our feelings about our weight or our hair color or our skin complexion, these very surface level things, good grief, you can even add in your skin color. The things that you have about that shouldn't ever be any determinant on your value as a human being. How clear your skin is should not value you more to other people or devalue less than other people. Your skin complexion, how many zits you have on your face, should have no bearing on your value as an individual person. Just like your weight should not turn you into a less valuable person as a human being. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to still try to clear your skin up if you can. Get fit and as healthy as you can. Present yourself to the world in a way that shows that you respect yourself. Those characteristics about ourselves that we don't like and we want to improve upon, just because they are unsavory to ourselves and maybe culturally to the world, doesn't mean that you are less valuable as a human being, but you are being told by politicians and by political parties that individual thing about you is the most important thing about you. And that single thing that I can see with my eyes when I see you should show me how society values that person. And prejudge. You've heard that word before. Prejudge individuals, each other, based on all of these things that are being amplified because they can commoditize it. The value of a person is their soul. And it's that simple. Whatever wraps around that soul can be improved, can be supported, can maybe be hidden. You get some Spanx on, ladies. You know what I'm talking about. You look great in that dress, and you know that there was a little work that went into looking great in that dress. In the gym, and also in the bathroom, doing the jump up and down, trying to make sure all the things zip and hook. We can't let ourselves be turned over to this political game, this circus that is meant to sow chaos in everything that we understand culturally, so that the ringleaders can come in, sell tickets, and take it the tent from town to town to town. And it doesn't matter if it's all Democrats who are in charge in a blue state, if it's all Republicans who are in charge in a red state. None of that matters. You have an opportunity on your ballot to pick the best people in a primary and in a general election for the job. All of those people have an immense amount of flaws. Every person on your ballot is a flawed, broken individual. Predetermined. Find me the person who walks the face of the planet currently that isn't a flawed individual. You won't. We are all flawed. With that being said, who is going to further the ideas that matter the most to you, to your children, to your community? Support those people. We're going to take a quick break. Hans von Spakovsky is going to be with us when we come back. There's a lot to talk to him about. I want to talk to him about the near conclusion of the Manhattan Alvin Bragg trial with Donald Trump, Michael Cohen, Stormy Daniels, all that nonsense, and a little bit about activist judges as well. We're going to dive deeper into that conversation later in the show. Tyrus at 1:05. State Senator Bill Eigel running for governor at 1:25. He's going to join us on the YouTube Live with a video call, so you can watch us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And while you're there, go vote. Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? Yes or no? Hans von Spakovsky in a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
All right, Air Comfort Service is waiting for you to give them a ring. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Air Comfort Service is committed to making sure that the HVAC issues that arise and potentially ruin your day, don't let it ruin your day. It's just a thing that happens. It doesn't get to ruin your day, but you might have to make a phone call. You might have to get a repair out, and you may have to replace that AC unit. I've had to do it, and I was glad that I had Air Comfort Service on the other end of the line to help me through that process. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Air Comfort Service will walk you through the whole process of doing the replacement, maybe making the repairs, but also saving money. Up to $4,200 with double carrier cool cash rebates on qualifying systems. You can also qualify for 0% financing for up to 72 months. And you could be eligible for utility rebates and tax credits as well. Go with the people who are going to prioritize you, your HVAC, throughout the entire process. They are good to their people. They are great to their customers. And you should give them a call and see if you might be next on their list. 314-513-0091. Tell them Annie sent you. AirComfortService.com.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too.
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry, it's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com, official partner of the St. Louis Blues.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. More than 11 years ago, we set out to help women right here in St. Louis. Today, Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Our work at Coalition Life continues, and we need your support more than ever in a post-Roe v. Wade world. Whether you join us as a volunteer, an employee, or a donor, know that you have a special impact to make for these precious children. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Keep the air you're paying to heat where it should be with 15% off attic insulation. For a free estimate on attic insulation, visit aircomfortservice.com.
We're here to help you get registered to vote, whether you're in Missouri or Illinois. Democracy 2024 on 97.1 FM Talk. If you need help getting registered, go to 971talk.com/vote.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. It's not like you.
And this individual, 6'2", biologically a man. A minute ago, you said that when this man decided that he was a she, you said this individual was, quote, I wrote it down, sober and entirely a female. That phrase struck me as remarkable. Did this individual have male genitalia?
I think what I said, or at least what
that is a verbatim quote, entirely a female.
Sorry, what I meant to say was hormonally a female.
Okay, but that's not entirely. Did this individual have male genitalia?
Yes.
So you took a 6'2" serial rapist, serial child rapist with male genitalia, and he said, you know, I'd like to be in a women's prison. And your answer was, that sounds great to me. Let me ask you something. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Is that a question you're
yes,
asking me?
the other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Of course.
Do they have the right not to have a 6'2" man who is a repeat serial rapist put in as their cellmate?
Senator Cruz, I considered the facts presented to me, and I reached a decision
I asked
based
you a question.
on what the law
I asked
is.
you a question. Do they have a right not to have a 6'2" man who is a serial rapist put in as their cellmate? Do those women have a right to that?
Every person who's incarcerated has the right to be safe in their space.
But you didn't think so. You didn't think so. And in fact, I'm going to give some quotes from your order because Senator Kennedy is right. This is not a judge's order. This is a political activist. By the way, the beginning of your order says, at birth, people are typically assigned a gender. I got to say that would astonish a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans think you go to the hospital, a baby is born, and congratulations, you have a little boy, a little girl. The assigned a gender, I know you went to Brown, but it sounds like it's in a college faculty lounge.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
in order to form a more perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
So, Hans, that's the longest clip I would ever play to have an intro, but Ted Cruz just was doing Ted Cruz kind of things there as he was questioning a judicial nominee, this judge who ruled that this man who identified as a woman could be in this prison with women. I mean, the question here is the activism that exists in judicial nominees. Is this a new thing? Is it a more extreme thing today than it has been before?
It is worse today than it's ever been. Look, when Barack Obama was president, he nominated at that time some of the most left-wing, ideological lawyers that have ever sat on the federal courts. Biden has made Obama look like an amateur. The people that he has been nominating, and unfortunately getting confirmed because Democrats have enough votes in the U.S. Senate to get them confirmed, are some of the, and I don't use this word lightly, some of the craziest left-wingers you have ever heard of. And all that Ted Cruz did was illustrate just how nutty these nominees are. In this case, he was grilling Sarah Netburn. She's been nominated to be a federal district court judge in New York. But she's not unusual. There were 5 nominations before the Judiciary Committee for that particular hearing, which occurred on Wednesday. They're all like that. And, at one point, Ms. Netburn was referring to this 6'2" guy as she, which in itself tells you everything you need to know. And, of course, the point he was trying to make was she's making rulings based on her politics, not the law. And that's true for all these nominees.
So I think it's so important to highlight this because this is where the Senate has a huge, huge impact on the justice system in our country. And, you know, is it a simple majority to approve these justices?
Yes, because the usual filibuster rule that used to apply both to legislation and these kind of judicial nominees was thrown out by a prior Democratic leader of the Senate, Harry Reid.
Right.
He changed the rules without actually having the votes to change the rules, and it's been that way ever since.
So, Judge, let's talk about judges here because we've seen Judge Merchan in this Alvin Bragg, Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen, Donald Trump trial, the non-hush money trial. Is he the type of judge who would be approved or confirmed in this type of a situation? Are states approving these judges? Where does a Merchan find his way on the bench for a trial like this?
Well, remember, he's a state court judge, and in some states, state court judges are appointed the same way federal judges are, but in other states, they're actually elected. But I got to tell you, calling Merchan a judge is giving him too much credit. I mean, he has acted throughout this case like a political hack, and his ethics violations are quite something. I don't know if you've seen the piece, Annie, but Alan Dershowitz, you know, he's one of the most respected lawyers in the country. He actually wrote a piece recently because he's been in the courtroom up there calling Merchan one of the most unethical judges he's ever seen.
Is anybody defending him? Because I hear, you know, Hans, I have a general idea of where you're going to go with some of the points that I ask you sometimes. And I hear even people on the left-leaning news outlets questioning some of the goings on in this court case. Are there people out there really advocating for Merchan that aren't just, you know, like Democrat campaign operatives?
Not that I've seen. You know, Democrats have been very quiet about him. They're very happy about the way he's conducting this trial, or I should say misconducting this trial, but they don't want to say that publicly because the things he's doing and saying are so obviously wrong.
So I guess that both sides have rested in this case, specifically in the trial being overseen by Merchan, that there will be closing statements, as I understand it, after the holiday weekend on Tuesday. My son graduated and spent his last day at school yesterday, so I took one day off, and sometimes I feel like one day off and you're drowning in what I miss. Are they going to meet next Wednesday? Because we do know that they've been taking Wednesdays off as well.
No, I suspect what's going to happen is they'll do closing statements on Tuesday, and then the judge will immediately hand the case over to the jury to make a decision. I think anyone who expects a decision on Tuesday, that's just not going to happen. There's no telling how long this jury will take to make a decision. I can tell you that if they come back very quickly, it will be because either they're giving into their political bias and they're going to say that Trump is guilty, despite the fact that the prosecution has never really proven its case, or it's because they have decided that the case was so biased that they're going to acquit him. It's going to be one or the other in that case, but otherwise it's going to take a while, I would think, for them to come to a decision.
So going back to the judge in this case and understanding that there are a lot of political activists that exist that sit on the bench, I mean, does he have the ability to leave his fingerprints all over this with more of his unethical behavior after the closing statements are made, before the jury goes to do what they need to do?
Yeah, because after closing statements, what the judge does is he gives instructions to the jury, often very detailed instructions, what evidence they can and can't consider, what the legal standard is for them to decide whether someone is innocent or guilty. And those jury instructions can be very crucial in shaping what the jury does. So, depending on how he comes up with those jury instructions and whether they are fair and not slanted, again, we will see what kind of behavior this judge engages in.
Well, the closing statements on Tuesday, will they be able to complete those on Tuesday? Are they going to, is it going to take forever? It just seems like everything takes longer than it needs to.
I guess the lawyers could go on forever, but I don't think that's very effective. You know, I don't think it'll take more than one day for them to give their closing statement. And if it takes more than that, then that means I think that particular lawyer is frankly going on too long in his speech, which is something that lawyers should not do.
Yeah, if I'm sitting in that jury and I've sat through all of this for this much time, and then the lawyer's making a closing statement droning on, he's not winning my favor in that droning. So do we expect to get the instructions, the charge to the jury from the judge? Do you think, or your expectation on Tuesday?
Yes, if they get done with, if they finish, not too late with their closing statements, I would think the judge will go ahead and give them their instructions.
All right. And last question for you. And you've listed what those options are. You could get acquittal, you could get a guilty, you could get a hung jury. I guess the other thing is a directed verdict from the judge. I don't know if that's going to be the path that you think this is going to go. Do you have a prediction in how this turns out?
If this was a good jury, and a good jury are folks who really go by the facts in the law, they don't allow their personal and political biases to influence them, they would come back and throw out the case. They would acquit Donald Trump for many reasons, everything from the fact that the prosecution hasn't proven its case to the fact that the chief witness is admitted in his testimony that he is a liar, a cheat, and a thief, someone who also even stole from his client. But given the politics of Manhattan, given what I consider very biased rulings by this judge, I don't think that's going to happen. I hope there are enough members of that jury, sensible members of that jury, so that there is at least a hung jury in which they can't come to a decision rather than them finding him guilty.
I just think, Hans, that the actual real possibility of an acquittal exists. It is on the table based on the evidence that has been proven and disproven throughout the course of this case. The fact that there is a possibility that Donald Trump could be found not guilty or be acquitted in Manhattan during a presidential campaign, it's kind of mind-blowing that this is where we are at this point.
Well, it's true. And like I said, that's what the jury ought to find. Look, we should remind folks, the last two witnesses in the case before they ended the case were the former paralegal for Michael Cohen and the former legal advisor to Michael Cohen. Both of them testified that Michael Cohen repeatedly told them that Donald Trump didn't know about the payment that Cohen had made to Stormy Daniels. And that's the heart of the prosecution's case. And yet these two witnesses who worked for and worked with Cohen are saying, well, Cohen said Donald Trump didn't know anything about this. So how can he be guilty, therefore, of doing anything wrong?
Well, we'll wait and see. And it's very anticipated. Hans, maybe by the next time that we speak with you, we could be pretty close to, if not having a verdict. That would be wild. So I'm looking forward to that. Hans, thank you for being with us, and have a great Memorial Day weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky is a senior legal fellow at Heritage Foundation, our friend here on the Annie Frey Show and 97.1 FM Talk. He's a former FEC commissioner and DOJ lawyer as well. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America in studio with us with that thing that is important to all of us, especially Ryan Wiggins. What's new in food? We'll have Ryan come in here and give us the latest update in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is a locally owned and operated flooring business. Have you gone by there yet? I hope you have. If you haven't, please check out their locations in St. Charles County, West County, or Darien Prairie. They're great people, and I think that matters when you're making an investment like the new flooring that you're going to put into your home, into your newly refinished space, maybe your new home, even your business. Michael's Flooring Outlet will walk you through everything you need to know to be confident that your investment is a smart one. I want to talk to you about the Mohawk Smart Strand Silk line of carpeting. I'm a big fan of carpeting. I have it in my home, and am looking to replace some carpeting in my home in the future. And I'm going to go with people who I trust. And Michael's Flooring Outlet, that's who I trust. That Mohawk Silk brand is a wonderful, silky, soft, with superior performance brand that you can feel confident investing in your home is going to stand the test of time. I think flooring is one of those things that when you've got little feet running around, maybe paws running around, or just klutzy people like myself maybe, you want to make sure that when life happens on those floors, you don't have to get all worked up because the floors can't live up to the life that you're living on them. Michael's Flooring Outlet will help you with that as well. Check out the reviews online and request an estimate by visiting igotfloored.com.
If you're thinking of selling your home, I'm sure there are two things you want: certainty and the most money, right? Hi, it's Mark Cox, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know the only agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first and only call when looking for an agent. Gloria doesn't make empty promises. No, she provides written guarantees. Now, what does this mean for you? Certainty. Now, certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility in this election year? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 38 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need the best. Let us make your case our cause. Car accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9 million.
Today's YouTube live chat poll, which we always encourage you to participate in because it's one of the best parts of the show, this theme that we kind of take throughout the show. Today's is, should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? We mentioned this yesterday. I'm glad to see that this is the poll today. Yes or no? Let us know what you think, if he should or should not, RFK, be included in the debates. It is 12:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Thanks to the over 900 of you who showed up for the Great Strides Walk on Saturday, you raised almost $200,000 for cystic fibrosis. This is Ryan Wiggins. I have CF and have personally benefited from these advances in CF medicine. Thanks for being a part of this month's Conservatives Care.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I was tired of my lady. We'd been together too long.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Let's start with the biggest news of the last week and a half in food, in the food arena.
Oh, in food.
In food.
Just narrow it down.
If you've ever heard of food, then maybe you've heard of this, because this is big news. Everyone is ordering pickles in their Dr. Pepper.
See, that's a lie. Have you ordered pickles in your Dr. Pepper?
I have not.
Have you ordered pickles in your Dr. Pepper?
No, I haven't, Danny.
Annie, have you? Heck no, I haven't, so not everyone.
I guess on a technicality.
Somebody selling Dr. Pepper and pickles might be.
Yes.
Would you try it?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, tell us about it.
I really do want to try this. In fact, I was talking about, I think it was late last week, that this was really hitting, and now it's become a thing where restaurants are having to deal with.
Is it because you talked about it?
Yeah, that's why. At restaurants specifically.
On the Mark Cox Show?
Yeah. No, I don't remember where we talked about it, but I was talking off air about it with Hannah, of all people, and she said, oh, yeah, I've heard of this. And she said, doubled down, she said, have you heard of a dirty Dr. Pepper? I said, no, I've never heard of that
We don't do
either.
those things in 97.1.
Yeah.
We're pretty straight.
What kind of operation do you think this is, Hannah? You were here for long enough to know.
Remember who you're talking to, Hannah. But a dirty Dr. Pepper apparently is just one with cream added, too. So that's another trend.
Well, it's cream and coconut flavoring.
Yes.
Sounds like something that that Dee would tell us to do.
Yeah.
Didn't we try Pepsi and milk with him?
Oh, did
Reluctantly?
Yeah.
I don't remember liking it, but I don't remember hating it either. I'd have to retry
Well, it sounds like it. Soda and milk. You're the type of person who just needs to like the two separate things to like the combo, aren't you?
Well, probably.
Do you like pickles and Dr. Pepper?
I still have not tried it. Are you going to try it?
Absolutely not.
Do you like Dr. Pepper?
I'm not. I never prefer it, but I'm not opposed to it.
Okay.
I would never see a list of sodas and go for Dr. Pepper. I will from time to time see a list of sodas and go for a Diet Root Beer.
I like Dr. Pepper so much that I collect
You wanna marry
paraphernalia. Yeah. No, you do.
Don't we have pickles in the thing out there?
I don't know.
What kind of pickles?
We did.
Now, I don't know if we're talking about
What kind
a
of
full
pickles?
pickle.
Tell us you
Dill.
never.
Dill pickle.
Yeah, they had those pickle chips out there for a while.
Yeah, dill pickles, Dr. Pepper. Throw them in there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is it for the drink or is it for what it does to the pickle?
No, it's for what it does to the drink. They say it makes the drink just a little salty, which makes the flavor better and a little bit different, which I'm completely willing to try. Now, some people, though, are adding pickle juice to the Dr. Pepper now because they say they like the flavor, but most people are saying, no, it's actually about the salt.
I think that we are going to try to do this by the end of the show.
I don't see why we wouldn't.
And by we, I mean at least Ryan. Would you try it?
Man, I really don't want to.
You don't have to.
I really don't want
You're
to.
not a hostage situation.
Please, Andy, no.
Don't make me do it again.
I know I'm supposed to say yes, but no.
I feel like Ryan shouldn't have to do it by himself.
Why?
But
no, I agree with that.
It sounds gross.
Do you like Dr. Pepper?
I like Dr. Pepper.
Do you like pickles?
I like pickles.
So you're not.
They don't go together.
It's not. Well, you might be wrong.
I'm gonna have to get some milk too. So maybe we'll just do
but
that.
I'm also
With
like
milk? Pickles.
No, the dirty Dr. Pepper. Do two separate tasting.
I'm
I
also
don't
very
do those
particular. Like if a food is supposed to be salty or savory, it's over here, and if it's supposed to be sugary, it's supposed to be over here.
Like
and
you
I
wouldn't
don't.
eat French fries and ice cream?
No.
Ooh, I don't either.
Ooh, I've never done that.
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
Oh yeah, the kids at school used to dip them in chocolate shakes all the
big
time. I was like,
Wendy's
no
thing.
You don't
way.
like sweet and salty together?
No,
Well, that's
I don't like kettle corn or any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's un-American.
Maybe-
Go on, next story.
Salted caramel.
Next story.
Salted caramel is
That's the
literally salted sugar.
Yeah, that's
You know
the
what?
only one.
Now that you said that, I'm switching my next story.
And caramel is sugar and butter, which is probably sugar and salt.
I was going to go with a different one. I'm going with this one now because you mentioned it.
Okay.
Has anybody seen or tried the Grandma McFlurry?
I've not even heard of
You
the
haven't
grandma.
heard of it?
No.
Again, going back to Friday's show, that would mean eating soft serve ice cream, which would be a waste of the calories I invest.
Oh, no.
Go on.
It's so here's the deal. The new Grandma McFlurry was released in McDonald's restaurants nationwide on Tuesday.
Grandma McFlurry.
It just so happens that
It's
I
just,
found
you
myself.
know what a Grandma McFlurry is? It's what you do. You get a McFlurry, put it in the freezer, eat it a week later. That's what I would call Grandma McFlurry.
That's a blizzard that I do that with. The fast food chain said the new flavor is inspired by lifelong memories of Grandma. The McFlurry is sweet, just like Grandma, and has candy pieces, just
My
like
grandmas
she
were
had
sassy.
in her purse.
Candy, like dirty with hair on them?
I did not realize this. Yeah, I did not realize this, and they have a perm. That when I went to McDonald's on Tuesday, that was that was the big release. I didn't know this, but I saw the ad and I said, I don't know what that is, but I'm getting it.
Does it have Werther's in it or something? That would be hard to do.
I didn't know.
Chomp,
It didn't
chomp.
describe it. And so when I got to the window, they gave it to me and I said, ma'am, can I ask you a question? What is this? And she goes, I don't really know. I think it's kind of butterscotchy. And she was exactly right. It's very butterscotch
That would be Werther's.
McFlurry.
Werther's are not butterscotch.
Butterscotchy.
They're butter.
Werther's is caramel.
Well, that's why.
That's not a butterscotch.
That's why they're making the association, though, with grandma, I think, is because of the butterscotch. I would think Werther's, too, but if you're saying that's caramel.
Yes.
I thought Werther's were butterscotch.
Oh.
But there are candy pieces in this thing that add to the whole, the
So you
texture
can't tell
of
us
it.
exactly what's in the Grandma McFlurry that you're breaking
It's
news
butterscotch, and it's candy pieces that I assume are also pieces of butterscotch. So, I highly recommended having taken one for the team and went out and did some field research on this. It's pretty dang good.
You didn't. Did you go order it on purpose, or did they just give it to you?
No, I ordered it on purpose.
Okay.
I ordered
Okay.
it. They didn't just happen to give me a McFlurry. No, I had to order that. And it's very, very good. So I hope they make it permanent because butterscotch, super underrated. Next one, the one that I was going to get to here.
If I'm going to get a sundae, like people get a hot fudge sundae, caramel sundae, I get butterscotch.
Good for you.
Put pecans on. That's what butter pecan is.
I would do without the pecans, but at least we're close.
Man, when you start putting like walnuts and pecans in it, that's when it starts turning grandma.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I just want the sweet. I'm with Brad on that one. I actually don't like the salty in that context. All right, here we go. Dentists are sharing the risks of chewing ice, saying, quote, tooth enamel is made up of rod-like structures that are composed of thousands. I knew that this was going to me. Microscopic crystals, a doctor of dental medicine told USA Today. Ice is also considered a crystal. So when you push two crystals together with force, one of them will give.
I just think that chewing ice should be illegal.
Yes.
By the law. I mean, state of Illinois, it sounds like something they'd take up that would actually finally benefit me. I am an ice impacted individual.
This is one case where you'd say big government's fine if government stepped in and said no
Little
more ice
government,
chewing.
big government, dictatorship, no chewing ice.
Personal question. Have I gotten better about this?
You're funny about it because you've not stopped.
I haven't. See, it's all subconscious.
You don't stop
man.
at all.
I
You
really
just
was
sit over
hoping
here
that I
like
had.
this, and you think like the slower you put the
You're right.
the
I
ice
do
in
that.
in your mouth. Listen, I don't like the sound of any. I don't want to know that people are eating or have anything in their mouth. It's a me thing. It's called misophonia. People have it. I'm not the only one who has it, but I have it, and I can't remember a time in my life. I mean, before I was 2 digits in age, where the sitting there and listening to someone chew with their mouth open, there is not a rage that I've ever had in my life that makes me feel that way. It is completely out of control. And you were a dramatic ice chewer. You have very much so been kind and thoughtful and not done that in front of me the way you've done it
As
before.
much.
But you still do it.
Yeah.
And he just like slowly puts what you need to do, we need to find a video of you doing this in the studio because you'll do it on camera. And you put it in and you're just like, chomp.
I slow down. It's like I'm being
Chomp.
considerate subconsciously by just doing it slower.
Chomp.
Yeah. Your misophonia meets my pagophagia, which is
I don't wanna talk about
compulsive
that.
ice eating. So we're between a rock and a hard place. We're both diagnosed.
This could be a good poll question because there are ice eaters and there are non-ice eaters. And I know that I am not at all in the minority of people who know how nails on a chalkboard grading that is, but I also know that it is an incredibly irrational reaction to something that is probably minorly annoying to most people. Majorly annoying. You've been very good about it. You've tried. We'll be right back.
Mark Cox here. Did you know that over half the appointments Window World will set this year are either previous customers or referrals from those customers? That tells you all you need to know about Window World. One thing that separates this company from the pack is that commitment to customer service and their excellent track record with both the Better Business Bureau and other reporting agencies. I am a satisfied customer. I love their lifetime warranty, and in just over 20 years of business, they've helped over 72,000 customers in St. Louis improve the look and the thermal efficiency of their homes. Right now, Window World is offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. That is a great deal. Call them right now. Get a free home estimate, 314-993-1800. They'll show you why they are simply the best for less. That's 314-993-1800, 993-1800, or go online to windowworld.com.
Would you just give your house key to criminals? Having your personal information on the internet is like giving a thief the key to your home. They can take everything that's valuable to you anytime. But JoinDeleteMe.com can help you protect yourself. Online data brokers compile information about you and sell it to people who could ruin your life. But JoinDeleteMe.com scours the web, removes the personal information you don't want seen, and prevents data brokers, scammers, identity thieves, even political enemies from getting personal information that could hurt you, your family, or your reputation. You'll get regular reports detailing what they find and remove. And JoinDeleteMe.com isn't AI. It's real people working to keep your data safe. Keep your private life private with JoinDeleteMe.com. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/news and use promo code NEWS at checkout. Go to joindeleteme.com/news and enter code NEWS at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/news, code NEWS.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Elevation at the White House. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden just announcing an effort to designate Kenya a major non-NATO ally, saying it's a fulfillment of years of collaboration.
Our joint counterterrorism operations have degraded ISIS and al-Shabaab across East Africa. Our mutual support for Ukraine and has rallied the world to stand behind the UN Charter.
Taking questions alongside Kenya's president, he also just reiterated criticism of the International Criminal Court seeking arrest warrants for Israeli officials. The National Weather Service just confirming 3 powerful tornadoes carved a 130-mile path across Iowa Tuesday, including a mile-long tornado that leveled much of Greenfield.
It was 4 fatalities here and then 1 in Adams County, so a total of 5, and just making sure that everybody's been notified.
Governor Kim Reynolds says statewide more than 200 homes destroyed, some of the same areas at risk for more severe weather today, along with parts of Nebraska. And there's more suspected tornado damage to hundreds of homes in Temple, Texas, after storms yesterday. The Justice Department in 30 states are suing Live Nation, accusing the ticket giant of running an illegal monopoly over concerts and other events.
U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says Live Nation Ticketmaster blocks out competition with years-long ticketing contracts and even acquires actual venues.
With exclusive agreements that cover more than 70% of concert ticket sales at major concert venues across the country, Ticketmaster can impose a seemingly endless list of fees on fans.
Assistant Attorney General for the Antitrust Division, Jonathan Cantor, says artists understand the stakes when Live Nation retaliates against those who try to go for a different promoter or ticketer.
Use Live Nation for promotion or risk being locked out.
The DOJ says they hope to restore concert-going competition with this lawsuit.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Live Nation says the allegations are baseless. America is listening to Fox News.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
4th cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Happy full moon, everybody. And on this Thursday afternoon, partly to mostly sunny skies, nothing more than a spot thunderstorm, 82. Tonight, clouds take over, scattered thunderstorms late night, 66. Friday, clouds, some sun, but count on scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday, 85. Saturday, a lot of dry time. Sunday, focus on wet. And Monday, pretty good day, 78. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We're here to help you get registered to vote, whether you're in Missouri or Illinois. Democracy 2024 on 97.1 FM Talk. If you need help getting registered, go to 971talk.com/vote.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
At Odyssey, we believe in casting a wide net to create a diverse and inclusive workforce, as we value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be directly notified of our open positions. Again, that's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for our listeners, we invite you to visit odysseyinc.com/careers. There, you'll find an online listing of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 500 and get 15% off your first purchase with code 500, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME deodorant.com, code 500 for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code 500 to save 15% today.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
The Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I am excited to be with you this Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow, we're going to be broadcasting at the Illinois Republican State Convention. And, Brad, we've got everything set up to be out there at the Gateway Convention Center. My understanding is people are welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Come.
Yeah, you've got to, if you go to 971talk.com/events, that'll take you to a link that will allow you to register. So it's welcome. It's open to the public, but you have to register.
So it's very simple. 971talk.com/events to find out the details to join us at the convention. Are we talking yet about the Frey thing? Are we on the air talking about that? Okay, so June 28th, June 27th.
27th.
June 27th, that's a Thursday. Whatever that first debate is going to be, we are having a watch party. These are going to be fun. We're also doing some exciting things that are in development. Brian, you can probably speak to the debate watch party a little bit because I want to flood that place with Annie Frey listeners. You got because it's free to attend.
Yeah.
But we want to reserve. You got to reserve a ticket.
Right. This is one of those events that I think it's going to be such a big national event, and we know that the eyes of the nation, let alone the eyes of and ears of everybody listening to this station, are going to be like really, really tuned in. So we want to make this a really, really fun event because we think that it's not just that it's going to be like a big event. We think this is going to be one that we will enjoy watching together because of the because Trump seems to have the upper hand going into this thing. So we're trying to, put all the bells and whistles, make sure that you have a great time joining us, and we're the exclusive station that's going to be able to air the thing too.
So yeah, you can come watch the debate with, and yes, everybody listen to 97.1 when you just turn all your radios on to 97.1 and listen to the debate there. And if you want to watch it like most of us do, come watch it with us. It'll be a party, and we will hoot and holler. When Joe Biden gets done speaking, we'll wake each other up and.
But that's why this is going to be such an event, because nobody knows what to expect. And the whole country is kind of waiting with bated breath. Even if you're not really, this is one of those that crosses over, that if you're not even really that engaged in politics, everybody the next day, on June 28th, after the debate, everybody's going to be talking about it.
It's Thursday, June 27th. It's from 6 to 11 p.m. at Dave & Buster's. Would love to see you there. And you can register your place to be there. It's free to attend. It's Dave & Buster's, so you can absolutely get food there. Food service will be provided. You have to pay for it. You have to, order whatever you want, just like you're going to a restaurant. But you don't have to pay to come.
Right.
So it's kind of like an opportunity. If you want to make a dinner out of it, I would. The bar's open, right?
Oh, yeah. And look, all of us will be there, too. And, like, the whole purpose of it is that we can hang out. And just like at times, I'm sure you're yelling at us on the radio. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's bad.
Which one of us?
Probably you.
Yelling at me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm just like.
Lovable.
Yeah, you just love me.
Squishy and lovable. Like a Care Bear.
And if you want to come and you want to talk to Annie, that's fine. If you want to come and you want to hug me, that's fine. Either
just
way.
Keep it straight. Those are your options.
Yeah, right. But literally, I think everybody from the station is going to be there. So if you've ever talked one way to us on the radio and you thought, gosh, I wish this is the place to come and actually meet us and hang out.
You didn't just invite all of our haters to come, right?
No, if you hate us, you can't come. Remember, this is about hugs, not drugs.
For you.
Yeah.
You and I can just shake hands. And
yeah, that's also fine.
You and Ryan can hug it out.
Yeah. I'll just be hugging everybody, whether you want one or not.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting one.
You're going to get a call from HR for that one. You're not allowed to do that, Ryan.
No.
Well, I'll make sure the hug doesn't last longer than 4 or 5 seconds.
No, that
4 or 5
doesn't matter.
seconds?
I want you to know I care.
If you cared, I want to know that you care enough not to hug me.
Here's the problem that I find myself in. If you don't like hugs, I think there are a lot of people that may not show up on June 27th now.
Okay.
So just keep me in the corner.
Yeah.
Put me in a separate room. I'll be in the hug room.
We're going to, we'll put you in a separate room.
The hug room. It's just Ryan.
You got to go in that back corner room. It's a janitor's closet.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go in there, Ryan will hug you.
Wait, the debate's not on here. There's just some guy standing there with his arms open.
I wanted to talk about this clip that I played a little bit with Hans von Spakovsky because this is a longer clip, but we're going to watch it here together on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. You're going to listen to it here on 97.1 FM Talk. And I think that this is outrageous. And I think that the more that I'm exposed to things outside of my comfort, not comfort zone, but my repetition. I watch Fox News. I watch a lot of, and I appreciate the people on the 5 who they have come on that lean left more than I think a lot of other people tend to appreciate them. I want to hear their opinion. I want to hear the alternatives. When I tweeted this out this weekend when I was at the hotel on Friday night for the track meet in Chicago that we went to. We just stayed one night. And we got to the hotel. I had to quick cut the grass. This is life. When I have to cut the grass at the hotel.
I was going to say,
no,
where?
Just walk with me.
Okay.
I would have continued on the story, except for the look on your face. It's like couldn't pay my bill. Had to cut the grass, like washing dishes in a restaurant. Friday, got off the air at the golf course with St. Clair County GOP at Tamarack. whizzed over to get my kid in Collinsville from school, whizzed back home, and the grass was too tall. We have been getting so much rain, which is good in the spring. You want everything to be lush and green. Let's be real. It gets to about the end of July or end of June, early July, and you're like, it would be great if it just died. It would be just a lot easier, which is why I highly encourage you, if you can manage to get a lawn service, which I don't currently have and would really like to invest in. So I get home. On the way home, I call my husband. I'm like, if you get home in time, this is his last day of class with kids. If you get home in time, you need to just like mow the grass and just go as fast as you can. It doesn't have to be a good job. It'll just look like we tried.
I've been there.
Everybody knows what I'm saying.
Raise the blade.
Just
go.
Vroom.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll do that. I'll go straight home and I'll cut the grass. Well, I'm getting home 20 minutes earlier than he is. And you remember that rain on Friday?
Mm-hmm.
We got done with the golf scramble, and up north where I was in Madison County, rain.
Mm-hmm.
That front was 1 mile south of my house. And I was looking at it, and like the drops of rain that were coming down were painful. They were huge.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't a lot of them, but it was just like pelting you. Like,
yeah, it's like a rain bomb.
I'm coming. Yeah, that's why we have such a bad fiscal situation in
Right.
Illinois. And
that's a deep cut. If
so
anybody gets
so I'm sitting there waiting for Jared to get home. He's getting home as fast as he can, but he's got a job that he has to do, and he can only get home when he can get home. And I'm like, I don't think you're going to get here in time to cut the grass, and we need to drive to Chicago. So I am like, I'm doing it. I'm cutting the grass. Now, I grew up on a farm, and we have acres of grass to cut. I can run a tractor. I can drive a tractor. I can cut the grass. Totally fine. My husband, I made him say it because I like to cut the grass. I enjoy it. I've made him say it one time. Is it an insult to your masculinity to be like out in the driveway while your wife is cutting the grass? And he was like, kinda.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. You let your wife cut the grass all the time, don't you?
She's asked me a couple times.
To
and
do
I was
it?
like, no, don't worry about it. I'll get it.
Yeah. There's something about, and I respect this, there's something about a man cutting the grass. Does that mean women shouldn't cut the grass? I haven't asked Harrison Butker yet, but I think the answer is if they want to, they can cut it. I haven't even gotten to the point of the conversation yet, but this is still very important. So I'm like, I'm doing it. He's like, I think you're going to have to. Because if it's not a matter of who cuts it, and it's not a matter of him getting home. If he gets home and it starts pouring rain and pours rain for 2 hours, we got to go to Chicago.
Yeah, and then you can't cut it right when it's done
You
raining
can't cut
either.
it right when it's raining, and it's going to grow even more in the next 12, 15 hours. We're not going to get home until the next evening. Got to do it. Zip, 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 zip. I cut the grass. Did a pretty good job, I think. This lawnmower that we have has caught fire twice.
That's amazing.
And we are making it last as long as we possibly can. My father-in-law, I don't know if he rebuilt the engine or he's good with small motors, whatever. So I'm driving this thing thinking, if this thing catches on fire, it would be okay if it started raining.
Small tip. Don't pour the gas on it. Put it in it.
I didn't touch the gasoline. I know where the gasoline goes. You're mansplaining. You can save that and give it to Brad, who ran a lawn care business later, and check tips.
Brad, that's a good tip, though, right?
Yeah, don't pour gasoline on a hot exhaust. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Ryan, I'm amazed.
Thanks for the very low expectations that you have set for what I can accomplish when running a tractor.
Yeah, it's just a little tool time tip.
Also, don't pour the gasoline on yourself.
Yeah, don't do that.
Bad thing.
Don't
Good
do
tip.
it outside of Congress. Light yourself on fire for Palestine, I think.
Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Cut the grass. Fine. Great. He gets home. We got to go to Chicago. So I cut the grass. I get in the car. I drive to Chicago. I'm gross. Get to Chicago. Get to the hotel, which is where this conversation started. And when we get there, the rest of the track team, they're all down in the lobby, eating Chicago-style pizza, enjoying the first night before the competition begins, where everybody's still a winner and all of our hopes and dreams are fully intact. Great people, great company. I'm like, I have to take a shower. And so I take a shower, and I'm like, I can't go back down there. I'm tired. I'm going to lay in bed. Everybody else is downstairs. And then you're flipping through the channels in the hotel. First of all, why is it that when you flip through channels in a hotel, you have to wait 3 minutes for the screen to go from black to the channel.
Thank you.
It takes forever.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
There's no indication that this is the channel. You're just hoping for the best.
You know what? Nobody's ever complained about that until now.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
if you want original complaints, here I am.
The Annie Frey Show, noon to 3.
I'm sitting there and I'm laying in bed. I'm tired, comfortable bed, very nice room. Nobody in the room with me. This is a moment in time that does not exist in my life. Freshly clean, nice bed, quiet. Flip, wait. Flip, wait. And I'm like, all right. I get to the news section. And I don't remember. I think Fox was running. It was a Friday night, so it wasn't like hard-hitting news. So I flip, wait. Well, here's MSNBC. Okay. I got a little time.
You were in a moment of peace, though.
I was. What the hell was I doing?
Why are you doing this?
Because I didn't want to flip and wait again.
Okay.
I had fatigue.
Okay. You had flip fatigue.
And I sat there.
Double left.
And I felt that way. A lot of people get a hotel room to themselves, start flipping around, feel like that.
Uh-huh.
I flipped to MSNBC. I'm laying there watching these people. I can't turn it off. I'm addicted to watching it. I'm getting angry, but also super comfy and super tired and super clean. I don't know who these people are except for Steele.
Michael Steele?
Is he the former
Michael Steele.
lieutenant governor of maybe Maryland, and he was the RNC?
Yeah, Michael Steele.
Is it Mike? Okay.
I think it is. These people are their literal culmination of what Michael Cohen's situation is in this entirety of this trial was Michael Cohen's deplorable behavior shows what happens when you work with Donald Trump for too long.
Man, they're good at it, aren't they?
I said an expletive. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. To nobody in the room. And I was sitting there and I was like, why am I watching this? Then I was like, flip fatigue. What's going to be on the channel next? I have no idea. It's probably not going to be better than this. I don't know that it could be worse than this, but it could be completely useless. And then I'll have to go flip fatigue through the entire thing. And by then, people will be back in the room. So I just sat there and watched it.
Incredible.
Everything came back to these people are ill. They aren't okay.
Bob Menendez, why Trump should not be elected. Like, that would be the next topic.
He probably shook hands with Donald Trump one time, and it
some
rubbed
point.
off on him a little bit.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is like the Michael Cohen stuff, they'd kind of toss out, put a little ball on the little tee for them. Michael Cohen, bad dude, liar. Well, when you work with Donald Trump for that long and you see how that man does business, you just start to behave that way. And I wish I knew what their names were. No, I don't.
It's sad.
That's a lie.
I mean, he's the victim here. He's not a criminal. Well, he's a justice-impacted individual.
They really actually were moving in the direction of feeling sorry for Michael Cohen.
That's
I'm
incredible.
like, oh, those are the 6 people. Those are they. I found them in a hotel in River Forest, Illinois.
It really would be a fun job to try to do a couple hours of MSNBC and take everything they give you, just as an exercise, and say, how do I manipulate this
This
enough?
is what I want to do. I need to get on a panel. I need to get on that panel. And when they start doing this, I'm not going to contribute with words. I'm going to pull out a MAGA hat and start smirking and just chuckling to myself.
You should be Jim from The Office in that segment where you just keep looking at the camera going, and they just keep zooming in on you.
Yeah, I will convey my message.
Yeah.
For anybody who's watching who's like, are you guys trying to make Michael Cohen the good guy here? I don't think there are any winners
The
here.
whole discussion, and then cut to Annie.
And I'm just going to be going, pointing at whoever's talking and just kind of like, not a big head shake back and forth,
Right.
just a quick little one. Like, you and me, you see me? No, this isn't good.
Yeah.
I think it'd be effective.
That would be the most effective thing you could do to that discussion.
I might be in my PJs with my hair up in a towel while I do it on MSNBC. You never know. That's the way it was.
And your
that night.
Chiron would read Grass Cutting Girl.
Yes, not Annie Frey.
No.
Absolutely not.
Dirty Grass Cutting Girl.
I was not dirty. It was clean. I was very clean.
Later.
Uh-huh. That was a good grass cutting story, though, wasn't it?
I liked the grass cutting part.
Yeah.
A little PSA about the grass cutting thing.
Do not
This isn't to you.
assume that I'm.
No. We're talking to St. Louis here.
Okay. This is
to everybody in the entire St. Louis area.
There's still time to retract, Ryan.
No.
All right, here we go.
No, this is a good PSA. If your neighbor's grass is longer than usual right now, just remember, it has rained a ton.
Ryan, cut your grass.
Everybody's trying their best.
Are you speaking from the heart?
Everybody, Ryan Wiggins, is trying their best.
I'm speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from the soul. And I'm speaking from the head. That this is something that we should all, let's gather together. Let us logic together. There's been so much rain.
Somebody go take a picture
People
of
are
Ryan's
trying their
yard
hardest.
No kidding.
right now.
You should text your best friend and ask her to do it.
Actually, first I need you to knock on the neighbors' doors, offer to cut their grass for free, and then take a picture.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. State Senator Bill Eigel is going to join us. Excited to talk to him. He's currently representing Missouri's 23rd district as a senator in the state of Missouri. He's also running for governor. What is his pursuit for governor? Why choose Eigel in the Missouri governor primary? And what does he think about the state of the Republican Party in Missouri right now? You got a lot of Republicans, but you got to agree on enough to get the job done. Bill Eigel on the Annie Frey Show when we come back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
All right, Ruler Foods. You find them at rulerfoods.com and in your neighborhood all across the St. Louis bi-state region. I've shopped at several Ruler Foods in Missouri and Illinois, and the experience is fantastic. They have delivery now. You can save on these groceries and have them delivered to your door. Go to rulerfoods.com and learn about how you can place your first delivery order from Ruler Foods, and then there's no excuse to not make it by. You will love the brands that they have there, your name brands that you shop regularly, and you will also love the Kroger brands that they have at Ruler Foods prices to make sure that you are saving every single time you put something in your cart, whether that cart is in your hands in the store or that cart is online at Ruler Foods. Right now, you can save on Bar S Frank's, ketchup, Kroger mustard, 10 for $10. You can get Pepsi, Mountain Dew, A&W, and Sunkist 12-packs, 4 for $16 when you buy 4. You can also save 12 ounces of Kroger cheese singles or 8-ounce Kroger shredded or bar cheese, 2 for $3. Shop at Ruler Foods. In store, you can find the location closest to you by putting in your zip code there at rulerfoods.com. You can also place your first delivery order at rulerfoods.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so
very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Is yours? Did you know that there's an R value associated with insulation? To find out your R value or for a free insulation estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
It's Joe Beamer filling in for Mark Reardon. We will see you back here at 3 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
It was so nice throwing big parties, jumping to the pool from the balcony.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Rules when you show up here. Bass beat rattling the chandelier. Feeling so Gatsby for that whole year. So why'd you have to rain on my parade? I'm shaking my head and locking the gates. This is why we can't have nice.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I didn't pick that song. I don't know if Brad picked that song on purpose. We were talking earlier in the show about...
Leave me alone.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was a genius thing to do. And in Illinois, we've got this overabundance of Democrats in our state legislature, and they really seem to get stuff done, and I disagree with the majority of it, if not all of it. And in the Missouri legislature, we have a plethora of Republicans, and they don't seem to be able to come to an agreement on a lot of things. I don't know that it's everything. I think that there are some very high points that have come out of the Missouri legislature, but key issues seem to break the Republican Party apart in the state legislature. So we want to speak with State Senator Bill Eigel right now, currently representing Missouri's 23rd District and candidate for governor in Missouri. Your primary is coming up in August. And I know a lot of you are working to make your decision on who you're going to vote for in that primary. Senator, thank you for being with us today. It's good to have you here.
It's great to be here, Annie. Thanks for having me.
So I want to ask you, as somebody who's been watching what's going on in the Missouri legislature from the other side of the river and hoping that you guys are able to get the job done, you've been able to accomplish some things, but the big issues and the fracture that exists in the Republican Party in Jefferson City. I want to know from you if you think that fracture is reparable, and if it's not, how we fix it.
So it is reparable. In fact, it's actually in the process of being repaired right now at the ballot box. We're seeing for the past 4 or 5 cycles now, overwhelmingly, the more conservative candidates have been very successful, and I expect that to continue into this summer. And I will say, on one hand, whenever you compare us to what's happening in Illinois, it seems like we're looking a lot better. So I want to recognize that up front. But you're right. You also said very accurately, we're not getting the big red Republican things done. And I think this year the big focus was on trying to pass a protection to our Constitution in the form of initiative petition reform. And even though this has been the #1 Republican priority for years, as we've tried to fight off the Clean Missouri efforts, the Medicaid expansion efforts, and now the efforts of abortionists trying to enshrine the culture of death into our state constitution, we can't seem to get it done. And it's not because we're wrong about initiative petition reform. We just unfortunately have a necessary mass of Republicans that don't really want to spend their capital to get these big Republican things done. And that's why, as I'm traveling the state as part of my campaign, I'm meeting Republicans that are just furious. They're angry, and they're looking for a reckoning of this status quo that we're trying to overturn down in Jefferson City.
We're speaking with Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel, candidate for Missouri governor as well. I think it's interesting because if you don't dive deep into this issue, it just looks like Republicans fighting with Republicans, and people who might be paying a little more attention to this election cycle because the economy, Joe Biden's economy, is a disaster. Our border security is a disaster. The world is on fire. People might lean into politics a little bit more. On the surface, the IP reform might just look like Republicans can't get along with Republicans. But you just made the point there that the idea of IP reform and how the Constitution in Missouri has changed is important in how Republicans actually push back on very dramatic, woke, leftist, progressive movements. And you just listed a few of those. So that's my question to you. The Republicans in the state of Missouri, who are the actual opponents that voters need to be looking at in order to make sure that common sense still wins the day after Election Day?
Well, fortunately, one of the things that we have done a really good job is force votes on a lot of these issues so folks can make the decision for themselves, which hasn't ingratiated me and the few other Freedom Caucus members down there from the establishment that kind of wants to operate in the dark. So some of the worst offenders are the pro tem of the Senate, Caleb Rowden, and he's not just the worst from a voting perspective because I'm saying it. The American Conservative Union has Caleb Rowden ranked based on his voting record as one of the most liberal Republicans to ever serve in the Senate chamber. Our appropriations chairman, Lincoln Huff, is another one that has had one of the most liberal voting records in the history of the Senate chamber. He's been responsible for the doubling of our state budget, along with Governor Parson, over the past few years. So a lot of folks don't realize just how on fiscal issues, and especially how bad of a job that we're doing. I mean, we spend twice as much per person as other red states like Florida or Texas or Tennessee. We're more dependent on the federal government than we've ever been before. Half of our budget comes from Washington, D.C. And so that's forestalled other Republican issues like getting rid of personal property tax. I've made it a major plank in my campaign. I'm the only candidate for governor that's ready to get rid of that tax, that's ready to get rid of the income tax. And those are the kind of big wins we've got to deliver if we want to compare favorably to the Tennessees and Floridas and Texases of the country.
Yeah, we do have a lot of, I just have great envy of these Republican states, these red states who are they're taking no time to get things done and to make the common sense be the rule of law, the constitutionally based common sense. You've mentioned leadership here. This is Republican leadership. Are those people voted in? Of course, they're voted into office, but are they voted into leadership by the Republicans who were sent to Jefferson City?
Yeah, typically that's what happens. There's, Donald Trump originally coined the swamp, right? This kind of go along to get along mentality, kind of the slow march and the expansion of government. And really, Jefferson City rewards compliance from legislators that show up and are willing to not really buck the trend, that are really not willing to step out from the crowd and be their own voice.
When you say rewards compliance with what?
Compliance with the idea that the protection, not of the rights of the citizens, but the protection of the special privilege of the special interest down in Jefferson City, as most exemplified by the state budget. So when I say that the state budget has grown from $27 billion to $52 billion just in the past 5 years, there are some of the most powerful special interests in our state, the Missouri Hospital Association, the members of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, that are receiving these dollars. And they want to keep fighting so that they can get those dollars to the detriment of other Republican priorities like cutting the tax burden. I mean, when I talk about getting rid of personal property tax, the value of every personal property tax for every citizen in the state of Missouri right now is it's less than $2 billion a year. Well, we've increased spending in Jefferson City by $25 billion just over the past few years. So if we would stop if we would stop spending all of our resources on pork, if we would focus on these Republican principles and fight for them, we could get them passed. We've got plenty of taxpayer money to do all these things, to really put ourselves in a favorable light from the Tennessees and the other big red states. And I want to make this point, and that is that, those other big red states that we always hear, you always hear about Florida, you always hear about Texas. It's not that those states don't have so-called rhinos in their legislatures. It's not that those states don't have moderate Republicans that kind of vote against the platform or kind of work against the principles of the Republican Party. But what those states do have that we don't is that visionary voice calling us to a conservative future in the governor's mansion in particular. That person that can articulate not just what conservative principles we're going to fight for, but why it's important, not just for Republicans to pass them, but for independents and Democrats as well. And they've been able to overcome the more moderate forces in their states because they lead on policy, which was always what brought Republicans together as the reformers of broken government. So we have more broken government. You can talk about broken government and bureaucracy all day, but until we have that leader in the governor's mansion that's really willing to challenge the grift that's going on from the special interests that are filling out all those bureaucratic positions and taking all those dollars, things aren't going to change in the Show Me State.
We're speaking with Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel, candidate for governor from Missouri. What sets you apart in your ability to get done the job as the governor of Missouri to refine the way they're led? I mean, you need the legislature to be working with you to get the most possible things done. You need to, of course, be able to challenge when challenge is necessary, but you also need to be able to extend a hand that is going to help everybody up so that they can work together with you in your pen. How do you do that?
Well, you know, sometimes, and I get asked this question a lot because folks kind of see me as, man, he's kind of a controversial, can be kind of an abrasive guy. You know, is this the guy that can actually lead the state? And my answer is overwhelmingly yes, because the answer to your question is pretty simple. We need a governor that's going to call on Republicans to do Republican things. Like, we don't have that right now from Mike Parson. You know, on the initiative petition reform that we were just talking about, we haven't heard a word from Mike Parson. A year has gone by since we actually asked him to call us into a special session so we could get that done. He's been silent and he has done nothing, said nothing. Mike Kehoe, Jay Ashcroft, also running to be the governor. For the past few weeks, while we've been fighting and bleeding out on the Senate floor, pushing against the moderate Republicans, neither of those individuals said a word. Neither of those individuals engaged in the discussion either publicly or privately to help us get these things over the finish line. And so there's this old saying of, you know, the only thing for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. And so, a governor that's willing to stand in front of the legislature and says, you either get this done in the regular session or you're just going to be back here in a special session until these things are completed, is exactly what we need for that state. And I think that as a governor who is also in charge of the state finances, you know, when I think of cities like St. Louis City or Kansas City that don't want to defend their citizens, that don't want to protect the rights of their citizens, you know, maybe there should be some consequences in the dollars coming out of Jefferson City to support those regimes. You want to get some change in behaviors from local governments that don't want to do their job, threaten the money. I'm willing to do that because I'm the anti-established candidate in this race. The other guys, we're just going to give us more of the same.
We're speaking with Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel, candidate for governor of Missouri. This is a question that might seem super elementary, but I think it's a really important one because anytime that any politician comes on here or a news media personality like myself, we're saturated, seeped in this stuff that sometimes we start talking about words in ways that assumes that a lot of other people understand what we're talking about, and then people just lose interest because they don't understand it. And I think that the IP reform topic is one of those topics that may not reach the people with their understanding because they haven't been interested for long enough, and it gets discussed, and it's incredibly important. And in my opinion, with the super red state that Missouri has become in its elected officials, without the reform, it is the way that Democrats will step over the people who are elected in state government to get the job done. What is initiative petition reform?
Great question. Initiative petition reform is the process by which of increasing the threshold to change the founding document of the state. I mean, right now, all it takes to change the Constitution of Missouri is signatures in 6 out of the 8 congressional districts, and then a simple majority vote on the ballot. I mean, compare that to changing the federal constitution and the hoops that you have to go through of passing something through the Congress and getting a supermajority of states to individually ratify changes to that constitution. It's a much, much higher threshold. And the reason for that higher threshold is that you want to actually bring together the different parts of the state, the urban areas, the rural areas, bring those folks together, that if we're going to change the foundation, the founding document of the state, it requires a consensus of beyond just the urban liberal areas of our state. So think about what's happened. And Annie, you just hit it right, the nail on the head, that look at all the things that have happened in this state as a result of our initiative petition, the current process being put in place. We could end this year with abortion enshrined into the Missouri Constitution up until the point of birth. We have already expanded Medicaid under Obamacare through this process. We have already seen our redistricting process hijacked once, even though we were able to turn that back through the Clean Missouri process. We've seen minimum wage could potentially by the end of this year be at $15 and increasing every year thereafter as a result of the initiative petition process. All of these ideas are leftist Democrat ideals that are circumventing the legislature and circumventing the mandate that we get on the first Tuesday of every other November to have a conservative Missouri that has based on limited and efficient government. So we've got to protect our Constitution. We're not doing that right now.
Senator Bill Eigel with us right now, and I can't stress enough, those things that you were saying could be changed, have been changed. Those are all things that we have in the state of Illinois. You know what Illinois also has? A supermajority of Democrats in the General Assembly, a very liberal governor. Every statewide belongs to the Democrats, and they've been able to get those things because the people have, unfortunately, sent those representatives to Springfield, Illinois, to make those decisions. It is very, very telling that those things have been able to happen in Missouri or could easily happen in Missouri because of an activist left that is sidestepping the actual voice of the people that exists in Jefferson City.
Yep. I mean, you've encapsulated everything right there. We never should have allowed any of these items to come anywhere near the ballot. We are a deep red state, but because of the absence of engagement and leadership from our senior most elected officials in Jefferson City, starting with the governor himself, going down certainly to the House and Senate leadership, but those top positions, because they've been absent, we're looking at a Missouri that we won't even recognize potentially 12 months from now. So I think that this is going to be a great year where there's a lot of angry Republicans out there. As I'm always saying, if you're one of those angry Republicans in Missouri, I just want you to know you're not alone. We're going to stand up here over the summer. I believe that we're going to elect a slate of candidates in almost all of the statewide positions in the Missouri Senate and the Missouri House that are actually going to start delivering on these big red ideas that we always just seem to talk about in campaign season.
One last question, and I know we're going a little bit long with you here. I hope that's okay. State Senator Bill Eigel with us. The last question I have for you, I know you're pursuing the governor's seat, and you've definitely advocated for why people should choose you here in this conversation. If the primary doesn't go your way, what do you continue to do to make sure that those leadership changes do end up happening, whether it's in the governor's mansion or in Jefferson City, to keep trying to push this cause that you're fighting for?
Well, keep in mind that this cause is much more than myself. In fact, this is the Missouri Republican electorate has already been selecting more conservative, disruptive candidates in the Missouri Senate and in the House for the past several cycles. In fact, for the first time ever in 2022, we saw an incumbent Republican state senator lose his primary reelection. That hasn't happened since World War I. So I think because of the COVID environment, I think because of the 2020 election, I think because of the Bidenomics, even the Obamacare, which is why I got first involved in politics about a decade ago. All of these things are creating an electorate that is furious with the establishment and the status quo, regardless of what happens with Bill Eigel. That is going to continue, and there is going to be a moment of reckoning that occurs for these powerful special interests in Jefferson City. I'm very optimistic that it's going to happen this August. But even if it doesn't happen this August, you can be sure that people aren't going to suddenly be happy with the establishment after that. The pressure is going to continue to increase. I think it's already reached a critical mass, but we're very optimistic here as we roll into the final 80 days of the campaign.
State Senator Bill Eigel, thank you for being with us. We hope you'll come back. August is going to be here before you know it, and it's a very, very important thing to our listeners, and 97.1 is very engaged in this race, and we're grateful that you're giving us the time today.
Awesome. Thanks, Annie. Have a great afternoon. We'll talk real soon.
You as well. We appreciate you. BillEigel.com to learn more about him. He's running for governor in the state of Missouri, currently the state senator in Missouri's 23rd district. You can find him on X at Bill Eigel, Eigel. Go talk to him. You guys getting some questions through our live chat here. You can ask him if you're typing. Get on X, find Bill Eigel, ask those questions. Thank him for coming on the show if you so choose. And we can continue to watch this governor race and what's going on in Jefferson City across the entire station. We are very engaged in this, and a destination for these candidates. They definitely want to speak to you. You are the utmost importance here, and we're grateful that we were able to do that with Bill Eigel today. All right, quick break. A little heads up. I've acquired two things. I have dill pickles and Dr. Pepper. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, stick around. We'll talk about that when we come back. And in the 2 o'clock hour, Ryan Wiggins is going in head first. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show. Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Official partner of the St. Louis Blues.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility in this election year? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 38 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You know, I don't know what is going on here, but I was recently attacked servicing an air conditioner by 2 cicadas. Definitely planned. It had to be planned. One flew right into my mouth, and when I spit that horrible thing out, one came crashing into the back of my head. But I'm just telling you, cicadas don't taste good. They're gross. Something has to be done. So everybody be careful out there with the cicadas. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Be careful with the cicadas. I know there was at least one planned attack on me by 2. But again, this is about air conditioning. So if you do need service on your air conditioner this summer, what works really good, I found, for me and my customers, is if you just save this number, my name and the number in your phone. That is 314-293-2600. Or on the website, and you can see some videos, bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service and Environmental Resources. Spring is a great time to refresh your garden and landscape. At Hansen's, we manufacture a full line of garden and landscape products that are perfect for your outdoor project. Pick up any of our products at World Outdoor Emporium, Kirkwood Materials, or a Hansen's location near you.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the Bagel Loan. You know that. What am I talking about when I mention the Bagel Loan, and why all of a sudden does it maybe apply to you? Well, when you're shopping for a home and you need to shop also for a mortgage, don't forget to shop for a mortgage. That's how you're going to make sure you get the best deal possible on probably the longest and biggest loan you're going to take out. Why wouldn't you shop? Reach out to Stewie and ask him how he can help you. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And ask about the Bagel Loan. When you learn about the Bagel Loan, the number one thing that you care about is that there are no closing costs, no fees, thousands of dollars that never leave your pocket. They stay right where they are, and you can choose what to do best with those. The Bagel Loan is only with Stewie, though, so you reach out to Stewart's American Mortgage directly by calling or texting Stewie at 314-324-4440. I am a 2-time Bagel Loan customer myself, refinancing my home twice to lower my rate, and I encourage you to check that out as well. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
Here's your chance to help build our community while building your career. This is Officer Jacob Boomgarden with the Springfield, Missouri Police Department. Becoming a police officer is one of the best decisions I've ever made. Every single day, I have a chance to impact someone's life in a positive way. When my shift ends, I know I've made a difference. And you can too. Our next training academy starts soon. Get more information at gospd.com. That's gospd.com. Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? We're talking about that today because it's the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates, yes or no? Also, do you like Dr. Pepper with pickles in it? It's not the poll, but we are going to be talking about that.
Hijack the poll with your pickles.
Should RFK Jr.
And
drink Dr. Pepper with pickles?
They are my pickles that will soon be yours to taste.
Did you buy those during the show and have them delivered?
Yeah, DoorDash.
That's incredible.
I know. I just manifested them. I got something for everything here,
That
boy.
is amazing. And I already have the Dr. Pepper, so we're good to go. 153. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here. Not because of a label, but because conservative ideas actually work. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. The poll question has nothing to do with pickles, I don't think. Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? I think there's some information that we need to know in order to include this, because if you look at national polls and you include him, he's got a respectable third-party percentage. Not one that's ever going to make him the president, but definitely one that could play spoiler.
Certainly.
Axios. RFK Jr. is qualified for the 2024 presidential ballot in 4 states. And the campaign says he has passed signature threshold in at least half a dozen others, including some crucial swing states. Kennedy, during an announcement, argued against claims that he's a spoiler candidate in the 2024 race. Is he a spoiler candidate?
I still don't know.
If you're a spoiler candidate, doesn't that imply that you're kind of working against somebody rather than? I think he's trying to be the president.
I think so too.
But there's a lot of people who have tried to be president and they aren't.
Yeah, and I can't figure out whether I just don't know. I don't know about RFK Jr. Like what his motivation is, if he's trying to pull from one candidate more than the other.
I don't think it's him. I think he wants to be the president. I don't think he's doing all of this so that he can hurt Joe Biden, which is what he's doing. Axios reports that Kennedy is qualified for the ballot in Utah, Michigan, California, per the campaign. He will also appear in the ballot in Hawaii with the newly formed We the People Party. He also collected the necessary signatures for ballot access in Idaho, Nevada, Nebraska, Iowa, New Hampshire, and North Carolina. Petitioning is also underway in over 30 other states per the campaign. Kennedy announced in March that the entrepreneur Nicole Shanahan, and if I'd have given you $100 to come up with her name right now, would you have been able to do it?
I might have remembered Shanahan just because of Brendan.
Would you?
No.
I would not either. No, I'm not remembering that. And if I should, but I wouldn't.
That's going to be a question for tomorrow's X's and O's.
Nicole Shanahan.
There you go.
Would be. She appeared. Whoa! What a campaign move.
She moved her nose a little bit. And that's the wrong show. Sorry.
No,
that's Bewitched.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let's see here. It's not clear whether Kennedy, who is polling better than any independent candidate since Ross Perot in 92, will siphon off more votes from Biden or former President Trump in November. Democrats are bracing for the impact of Kennedy's candidacy and have created an entire operation dedicated to countering his independent bid. The Trump campaign has long believed that Kennedy poses more of a threat to Biden, but there are growing signs that the independent candidate may be starting to cut into the former president's base. According to Axios, Kennedy created the We the People Party in Hawaii, which had a lower signature threshold than what would have been required for an independent candidate. So that's the information I think you need to know. Like, realistically right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 states that are qualified or could potentially be qualified. If you're not on the ballot in enough states to win the presidency, come the debate, should you really be in that debate taking up time from the two people who are? We need to know what you think. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and let us know yes or no. Do you have an emphatic response to this question?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have an emphatic response to this question?
Yes, I do.
So do I. Let's get those answers from ourselves when we come back. We'll read some of your comments on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll as well. And Ryan, it's Dr. Pepper pickle time.
Yeah, let's go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, when we come back.
Would you just give your house key to criminals? Having your personal information on the internet is like giving a thief the key to your home. They can take everything that's valuable to you anytime. But JoinDeleteMe.com can help you protect yourself. Online data brokers compile information about you and sell it to people who could ruin your life. But JoinDeleteMe.com scours the web, removes the personal information you don't want seen, and prevents data brokers, scammers, identity thieves, even political enemies from getting personal information that could hurt you, your family, or your reputation. You'll get regular reports detailing what they find and remove. And JoinDeleteMe.com isn't AI. It's real people working to keep your data safe. Keep your private life private with JoinDeleteMe.com. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to JoinDeleteMe.com/news and use promo code NEWS at checkout. Go to JoinDeleteMe.com/news and enter code NEWS at checkout. That's JoinDeleteMe.com/news, code NEWS.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babel.
Babel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babel for free at Babel.com. Just go to Babel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babel.com. Babbel.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Not in the clear yet. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. States already recovering from severe weather could face more of it later today, including Iowa, where the National Weather Service says it was 3 tornadoes that ripped across the state Tuesday, leaving a 130-mile path of destruction and killing 5 people.
And in Dare County alone, we had 153 major destroyed homes. Montgomery had 8, Polk County 26, Story County 15, for a total of 202. So, we've had a lot of destruction and damage across the state.
Governor Kim Reynolds visiting hard-hit Greenfield and seeking a federal disaster declaration. Attorney General Merrick Garland says it's time to break up Live Nation and Ticketmaster, accusing them of an illegal monopoly in an antitrust lawsuit.
Live Nation suffocates its competition, using a variety of tactics.
Including, he says, buying venues, inflating ticket prices, and controlling fees. Live Nation predicts victory in court and says the lawsuit won't solve issues fans care about. House Republicans lead an effort to crack down on non-citizens voting in local elections.
The House passing a bill with 52 Democrats voting with all Republicans that would repeal a law in Washington that allows non-citizens to vote in local elections. Texas Republican Congressman August Pfluger was one of the bill's authors, arguing that power should only be allowed for legal residents.
And I find it inconceivable that the city council and now other city councils around the United States would intentionally dilute the voting power of their constituents.
Democrats who opposed the bill argued reasons such as Congress should not be meddling in D.C.'s local policy and that the framers of the Constitution did not intend for a citizenship requirement to vote.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Hill. Under the D.C. measure, non-citizens would still be barred from voting for federal office, and it doesn't allow illegal immigrants to vote. An hour to the close, the Dow's down 596 points. America is listening to Fox News.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Happy full moon, everybody, and on this Thursday afternoon, partly to mostly sunny skies, nothing more than a spot thunderstorm, 82. Tonight, clouds take over, scattered thunderstorms late night, 66. Friday, clouds, some sun, but count on scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday, 85. Saturday, a lot of dry time. Sunday, focus on wet. And Monday, pretty good day, 78. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
At Lakeside Renovation and Design, our secret sauce isn't just the tools we use or the materials we choose. It's our people. We're not just builders. We're local craftsmen, highly skilled in our trades. Our team takes immense pride in transforming homeowners' visions into reality. We're not just in the business of remodeling. We're in the business of making homes more beautiful, comfortable, and valuable. What sets us apart? Integrity and honesty. Our craftsmen exceed expectations because we care. Lakeside, where every nail, every cut, every detail is a testament to our commitment to you.
Shop with the experts. Get a 5-carat certified colorless tennis bracelet for $1,650 set in 14-karat gold. Plus, get 10% off when you use code RADIO10 at cleanorigin.com or one of our 6 locations. Again, code RADIO10 at cleanorigin.com.
I have some rental houses. If you do too, whether it's 1 or 100, you need help. I've had a really good contractor in the past, but even though he could do a lot, he couldn't do everything. Rapid Rental Renovations does literally everything. Anything you can think of. Visit murphycleanoutservices.com. You can see the entire list, but I guarantee you that the list is probably not long enough because I've talked to Sean and Kristen, and they do every single possible thing that may happen at your rental house. As long as it's vacant, so somebody's moved out, or it's a rehab, or if it's an estate, any situation where a house is empty, Rapid Rental Renovations can come in and do all the work for you, or they can just do a little bit of it if you want to do some of it. You can give them a call. Visit murphycleanoutservices.com. That's where you'll see there are a couple of phone numbers there. One is really easy because you can text them pictures. The other, you can call them and explain to them what's going on at your place. They'll come out. 2 weeks they'll have it done, and you'll have it back on the market. Their prices are great because they know rentals. They know that you are all about the bottom line for your rentals. So use them. Rapid Rental Renovations. Again, you can visit them online and get all their phone numbers, the text number or the call number, all at murphycleanoutservices.com.
I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out youridoc.com. That's youridoc.com.
Thanks to the over 900 of you who showed up for the Great Strides Walk on Saturday, you raised almost $200,000 for cystic fibrosis. This is Ryan Wiggins. I have CF and have personally benefited from these advances in CF medicine. Thanks for being a part of this month's Conservatives Care.
The Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm actually one of those, I'm in the minority in this. I think if you've ever spent a lot of time watching Robert Kennedy Jr. speak, I think if you're Joe Biden, you're going to want him on the debate stage. Yes. I think there will be a point in the fall that they will actually see that as an asset. I'm sort of in the minority in this.
Well, let's just face it.
But I think that
he has a vocal issue.
He does.
It's an ailment.
And I think it will weirdly help Biden look less, any of his issues come across less, because I don't think a lot of people realize this about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And I think it'll be interesting. But if he's on, I'm not ruling out the possibility he makes it to the second debate.
Chuck Todd is an idiot. Wow, that was May 15th. That just happened. First and foremost, the idea that somehow or another people are going to hear RFK Jr. Explain Democrat principles is a couple of things. An admission that the policies and principles that RFK Jr. is espousing are not in any way, shape, or form representative of what Donald Trump offers you as a presidential candidate. How do Democrats say these types of things? The Venn diagram of RFK Jr. Did it make sense to you now?
I didn't get it until you said that.
Oh, okay.
Now I can picture it.
See, you take two circles,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes they overlap.
I don't. Okay. And where it overlaps is where you really need to focus. That's what you're saying.
That's where you've reached the most people.
Okay.
Yeah. So RFK Jr., Joe Biden, how many things do they want to do that are similar or the same? Probably most.
Mm-hmm.
RFK Jr.'s stump speech is going to be a little different than it is Joe Biden's. But did I just hear Chuck Todd say that RFK Jr. should be on there because he's going to be saying Democrat policies in a way that people don't want to listen to, which will make Sleepy Joe look good?
Yeah, there's a long line of logic you got to follow there.
If a Republican Fox News anchor or commentator said that the sound of RFK Jr.'s voice would make Donald Trump look good, they'd be done. I mean, you want to talk about being offensive? The left does it every time. This is how they speak. Chuck Todd just said it out loud. He wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
Plus, I don't get even the point from his premise seemed twofold, and it goes in two directions. One is that it would help Joe Biden because it wouldn't make Joe Biden sound so bad. And the other was that he could better state the policies of the Democrat Party, right?
Here's what he was saying.
Okay.
And this is why he said it the way he did and why it was convoluted and it seemed like he was making 2 points. Because Chuck Todd knows something here. Chuck Todd is right about something here. RFK Jr. is a threat to Joe Biden. RFK Jr. is going to siphon more votes off from Joe Biden than he is Trump. He is going to take votes away from Trump. RFK Jr., should he be on the ballot, there are going to be people who maybe would have voted for Donald Trump who vote for RFK Jr. But there are going to be more people who would have voted for Joe Biden who may vote for RFK Jr. So is he going to take away votes from Donald Trump? Yes. Is he going to take away votes from Joe Biden? Yes. Who's he going to take more votes away from? The people who have the same policies. Mm-hmm. That's Joe Biden. Why did Chuck Todd say that he thinks that the Biden people want him to be at the debates? He said it because when RFK Jr. goes up there to speak, he's not easy to listen to, and less people are going to want to vote for RFK Jr. after hearing him talk than before hearing him talk. That if listening to RFK Jr.'s actual sound of his voice, because that's what Chuck Todd was saying there. These are Chuck Todd's words, so if you've got a problem with the offensiveness of this, I get it. That's why we're talking about it. What Chuck Todd is saying is that the smart Democrat play here for the Joe Biden campaign is to put RFK Jr. out there so he becomes less likable so that RFK Jr. voters do show up to vote for Joe Biden. That's icky. It really is about his voice.
Can you, again though, can you just put this in a Venn diagram?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still having trouble following.
It's going to have two circles. They're going to overlap. And then outside the circles, it's going to say, you were here.
Okay.
Here's the poll question for today. Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? Yes or no? I'm going first, and I am an emphatic no. If RFK Jr. is not capable of winning the presidency, he should not be taking away from the time from the people who are in a position to win the presidency. If he has state by state convinced enough people to put him on the ballot to be in consideration for the presidency, then he should go about and I'm going to do the math here. I wonder if he won every state that he's on the ballot, if he's got 270. I doubt it.
Yeah, well, California helps.
Yeah,
adding that one.
California helps. Michigan's not a bad one. But you're looking at Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Nebraska, Iowa, North Carolina. Is that Delaware, New Hampshire? I never know. New Hampshire.
Oh, you're looking at a map.
Yes.
It's like the letters are different.
No, I'm looking at a map. Hawaii, I'll do the math. But if you can't win the presidency, you should not be taking up the time from people who can. Just like when you have, remember the primary debates in 2016? We had 2 stages full of people.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do what you got to do to get above a threshold so that time that America says, okay, I'm clearing my schedule for 2 hours to listen to what you have to say. I don't need to see an 18-person slap fight. I want to know from the people who are the options. And going back to, I think Chuck Todd made a really interesting tell-all point here, which is that RFK Jr. is likely unelectable because of his voice. He said, let's be real here. Or let's be honest here. When RFK, he's hard to listen to. They think that if you put RFK Jr. out in that regard, that it will be detrimental because people won't want to hear his voice. Not listen to what he has to say. Not listen. He said people won't want to hear. That if you diminish RFK Jr. in any possible way, that helps Joe Biden because RFK Jr.'s voters are Joe Biden voters, which is why I think he will be at the debates, because it will ultimately help the Biden camp or whoever is actually running for president for the Democrats. So I say that no, he shouldn't until he meets the threshold, and he hasn't. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm really torn on this because I do think eventually he will meet that threshold. And so if you project into the future that he will be a viable candidate by the time people start voting.
Chris Christie made the debate stage at like 1 a.m. the night before.
Yeah, I do remember that. But there's a part of me that just goes, look, I want to see this be the most democratic republic, whatever you want to call it, in this case, process. And so I would like to see that if he's got the polling that suggests that he is pulling enough Americans that he should be able to make his case, that I would like to see him make his case.
So if you could poll really high, like if Joe Rogan could poll, say I'm going to run for president, and could poll really high, but he hadn't gotten on a single ballot, should he be in the debate?
No, but that's what I'm saying is that eventually I do think that RFK will have enough states by the time people start voting.
But he doesn't right now.
But he doesn't right now, so that's where I'm torn. Should he be at this one? Probably not, because he doesn't have enough states.
So you're a no for now, but holding for the ability to change should he make the draw.
And making the prediction that he will have enough states, I would say I would go ahead and allow him to be on the ballot now based on his polling and his trajectory.
On the ballot.
On the debate
In the
stage.
debate, yeah.
In the debate, yeah.
What do you think, Brad?
I'm a no. He wasn't invited by the people that put up the challenge for the debate. This was Joe Biden challenging Donald Trump to a debate. This isn't through the debate commission or anything like that. They just went around that organization. There's no requirements. There's no anything. This is the debate equivalent of Ron DeSantis versus Gavin Newsom. It's those two men debating themselves. If they wanted RFK on there, they would have invited him. Now, if this is going through the debate commissions and all that other stuff, I agree with you, Annie. If he's not if he doesn't meet the threshold, then no, he shouldn't be on there. But if he does, then yes, he should.
Sean Hannity begged over and over and over for a Newsom-DeSantis debate. Sean Hannity said, I want you two to debate. And they said, okay. So Sean Hannity had a debate. If Larry Hogan from Maryland was like, hey, I want in on that, he doesn't get to come.
Right.
Unless Hannity says, well, you would add to this debate.
Yeah, I mean, that is technically true.
It's regularly true.
This is a way that they have crowded. They have done this on purpose to crowd him out of the conversation.
Biden has.
Yes,
I mean,
that's very true. It's Biden more than Trump.
Chuck Todd is saying
allow him.
That for Biden's purposes, he thinks that's where it's going to go. I just put it up on 270 to win. If every one of the 10 states that RFK Jr. would be on the ballot should everything that they've laid in so far goes to work, you need 270 electoral votes to win. If he won every one of the states that he's going to be on the ballot so far of 10, he has 123 electoral votes.
Yeah.
That's not worth it.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah,
I mean, I would rather, if I don't know that she is Jill Stein on all the states' ballots? If she is, there's a I think you need to be able to be on the ballot because that's how, I guess people could write you in other states, but you're not going to win a write-in campaign. Nobody's going to win a write-in campaign.
You're not. And Jill Stein and Cornel West, there are other candidates that I don't know how many states they're on. I'm sure somewhere we could find that. And it would be probably pretty deep because nobody's asking. But that to me is different, even if they are on 50 states, because they're just not really polling in a way that would make them big
They're
enough
not
candidates
clamoring
to
be on the debate stage either.
I don't know that anybody would take them seriously if
If
they were.
RFK Jr. gets on the debate stage, they should.
Yeah.
Those other two, their polling is so low, though.
So is RFK Jr.'s considering.
I mean, I guess comparatively to the major two.
I actually put more emphasis on actually being on the ballot than how you poll, because anybody, like, this is Kid Rock. Didn't he run for Senate for, like, right before he went on a tour?
I think for a minute he was thinking about it or talking about it.
No, he was legit talking about it in Michigan, running for Senate, and it turned out that he was going to announce a tour.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then maybe a new album or something. But I mean, like, the idea that you can get poll numbers, and what are poll numbers anyway? You pay for polls. You get poll numbers, get on the ballot. You got to participate in the system. That's my opinion. I understand, but I understand what you're saying. Like, if he does get on the ballot in these other ones, and he has got whatever that regular expected threshold is, then totally different situation. But that's not where it is right now.
I know that there's no real rule for this, but I would apply the Perot rule, something like that, where if you get to a certain level, like Ross Perot did, that you could participate in these things. Because he did participate, and there were a lot of people that voted for Ross Perot.
Ballot access status for Jill Stein. This is pretty easy to find, actually. This is from May 19th. The Green Party or Jill being on the ballot here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, at least 23 states. That's a quick count.
Okay.
Actively petitioning, basically everything but Oklahoma, Minnesota, and Tennessee, and Rhode Island. Oh, sorry, Rhode Island. Didn't see you there.
Yeah, but Annie, that's from way back on May 19th.
Yeah, I think it's more current.
That could have changed.
I think it's more current than
the
my
last couple
Axios one,
days.
which was from earlier in May. All right. I am holding in my hands pickles, dill, and Dr. Pepper.
Pickles, comma, dill. Okay.
It's off-brand.
Not three different things. Okay.
What do I do? This is for you. I'm not trying this. This is a huge trend. Dr. Pepper and dill pickles in a drink together. Does it sound awful? Yes. Am I going to try it? Absolutely not. Is Ryan going to try it? He can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. So the ratio that I found online is that to a roughly 20-ounce drink, you'd put about 6 pickle slices in a 20-ounce drink.
To a 20-ounce drink? Okay, so I think I have about a 10-ounce, half that here.
Okay.
A nice little glass with it's a see-through glass with a beautiful little, like, soda fountain, yellow and white straw. Oh, you don't like that sound.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. No, I like that.
No. The ASMR thing is torture for me.
Oh, but the soda? Oh, that's just a beautiful sound.
Pickles.
Let's hear that.
You talked over the pop. I can't recreate that. Trisha, I need a new jar pickle.
However, you got the last one.
So you think that in this much, that's got to be about 7 ounces of soda,
In
maybe.
that much, I would say 2 to 3 pickle slices.
3 pickles it is. I'm putting them in there. I washed my hands before I came in here. 1, 2, maybe these are little. Put those in there, and then I'm going to top it off so that it's mixed up.
Okay, thank you.
Any juice? Do you want me to throw a little juice in there?
No, I'm okay.
Not at all?
Yeah, I just want to try the pickles.
Trisha, the pregnant woman, is like, when you're done with those pickles.
Oh, she just wants to eat the pickles?
So do I.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. This is going in the fridge with a fork.
People just eat pickles like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like pickles. Don't get me wrong. I've never stuck a fork in a jar.
Really?
No.
That's the only way to eat pickles. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Little garnish on there.
It does look nice.
Thank you. Hold on now. I'm going to walk this over.
All right.
It smells
now, am I supposed to drink out of the straw?
I think you should start. No, I don't know.
I think
you should try both.
Yeah, okay.
Stirring it up here.
Okay.
Why are you looking at boiled eggs?
Well, this was the videos I was watching to see the...
Put us up there so I can see.
Okay, there you go.
All right. So this is the pickle and Dr. Pepper. And it's regular Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, I can smell it.
There was Dr. Pepper Zero, and there was also Diet Dr. Pepper, and I just got you.
You just got me the
The
regular.
straight heavy stuff.
Okay. All right, here we go. Man, it's amazing. I cannot smell very well after having a couple sinus surgeries. That is potent. Here we go.
A real endorsement for sinus surgeries. Are you happy?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Is it? You're a Dr. Pepper. You collect Dr. Pepper things.
Yeah, I have memorabilia in my basement.
Would you prefer it this way?
I don't know. Let me have a couple more here.
All right, let's take a quick break. On the break, we'll decide if Brad is going to try it because he was on the fence and acting like probably not. Like he didn't want to do it because he felt obligated. Ryan's got some facial expressions.
I'm really
going.
trying not to chew this ice is what I'm doing.
You're my man. And I also took my headphones off so I don't hear you drinking into the microphone. You do what you got to do there, and we'll talk on the break and see if Brad's going to try it. Abby out there said she loves Dr. Pepper. She loves pickles. And she's not sure she wants to try this on the air, but maybe she'll be influenced.
Guys.
Hold on. Don't tell us. Full, thoughtful review. When we come back, it'll be a Ryan, are you okay with Dr. Pepper and pickles, and Annie, are you okay with Trisha coming in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the trees. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl, my girl, my girl.
All right, Cassens and Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. This is where I go to buy cars. So much so that, you know the story, I've kind of brought this up again lately, about my husband he didn't hit a deer. The deer hit him, and it hit the radiator, so it totaled our car. And we had to buy a car fast. I have shopped and purchased our Pacifica from Cassens through a long, thoughtful process so that when it came time to buy the car, I knew what I wanted and I knew the value. And Cassens delivered 100% on that long, thought-out experience. And when it came time to have to buy a car quickly, I knew that we had to go back to Cassens because I knew they'd treat me right. And there are a lot of people out there competing for your business. When it comes to getting the great price that you deserve on a great vehicle that you can trust, you need people who you can trust, both when you purchase the car and for the life of the car afterwards. That's why I go to Cassens. Literally had my car there yesterday. You can go to Cassens right now at CassensSons.com and ask them about the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. 0 money down, $438 monthly lease for 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, TTL not included. This is a great opportunity to get a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo in your possession and a great monthly price as well. Learn everything you need to know by calling them at 618-800-2712, 618-800-2712. Tell them Annie sent you. Be sure to do that. You can find them online at CassensSons.com.
Did you know you can stream Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app? Just download the free Odyssey app and search for Fox News Radio to hear the voices you trust. Brian Kilmeade.
Why are we so scared of Iran thinking that we're at war with them?
Guy Benson.
Get the bleep out of here. It's disgusting.
Jimmy Fallon.
Then this administration rolled into town with a checkbook.
Are all on the free Odyssey app. From the news and talk to keep you informed and up to date during election season. Listen to Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Kim St. Ange here. It is finally spring, one of the best times to sell your home. Call my realtor, Becky O'Neill. She has more than 20 years of experience, sells between 80 and 100 homes every year across the St. Louis area at all price points. Plus, Becky has a design background, so she can help with staging. If you're looking to buy, she gave my family advice that helped us get into her home, even though our offer was $10,000 less than any other offer. Call the Becky O'Neill Power Team at RE/MAX Results, 636-326-2290 or BeckyO'Neill.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This is a consumer alert to all U.S. taxpayers who owe the IRS back taxes or have unfiled tax returns. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you can now take advantage of active programs that provide relief to struggling taxpayers and may reduce or eliminate what you owe if you qualify. Even if you are facing liens, levies, audits, wage garnishment, or already in a payment plan, call the Easy Tax Relief Helpline now to check what savings you may qualify for at 800-544-1553. You may qualify to reduce up to 99% of what you owe or for other special programs. Once qualified and enrolled, you can rest assured that your assets are protected and all collection efforts will be stopped. Billions of dollars in savings are available through these relief programs for struggling taxpayers, but you must call to see if you qualify. To see what savings you qualify for, call 800-544-1553. 800-544-1553. That's 800-544-1553.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLHonorFlight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Keeping you connected and aware.
In the world, the country, and the community.
And offering more ways than ever to listen conveniently. Tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk or download the Odyssey app.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Softly with his song, killing me softly.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
With his words killing me softly, with his song. I heard he sang a good song.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We have Dr. Pepper and Pickles in the studio. We have Trisha in the studio for Annie, Are You Okay? We have Abby in the studio for said Dr. Pepper and Pickles, and Brad and Abby are going to try them. We've got little kind of shooter glasses here, and I think it's about 4 ounces of Dr. Pepper. How many pickles, Brad, do you want in your soda?
I'm going to go with 2.
You gotta like.
Yeah, I need to emphasize the pickle flavor.
Yeah, you can't underdo the pickles
Right.
and miss the opportunity to be like, this Dr. Pepper tastes funky. Yeah, it tastes funky. It tastes like pickles.
It looks
Abby,
like Dr. Pepper with pickles floating in it.
about 4
That's exactly
ounces
what it is.
of Dr. Pepper in that glass. How many pickles in your Dr. Pepper?
Well, I dropped the fork after I made Brad's.
You just go in with your fingers. That's fine.
I poured just a little bit of pickle juice in there.
Okay.
Oh. Trust in my gut.
You, Abby, pickle fan?
I love pickles.
Dr. Pepper fan?
Love Dr. Pepper.
Brad, pickle fan?
Yes.
Dr. Pepper fan?
Yes.
So there's no like predisposed. I hate this because Dr. Pepper is not
Yeah.
my thing.
Nope.
All right, you guys off the mic. You can take a sip, ruminate. Ryan still has about half his glass left, so you haven't slammed it yet.
No, I'm waiting to be on the radio.
To drink it?
Yeah.
No. Wait, that's what I. Trisha.
It's the one time he waited.
Yeah. No, I wanted you. I don't want you to drink it on the air.
Oh.
You were supposed to do that now, Sierra.
Oh, okay, I'll
So now
start
you
now.
could tell. No. Now you need to talk.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Woo! It's getting more potent. I've let it sit.
All right. React.
It's getting to be. I thought I needed more pickle, but now that it's been sitting there for a couple minutes through the break, it's a little too much. So there's a magic spot where it is good though, and that spot is right after you put those in.
When you can't taste the pickles?
No, you can taste it. No, you can taste it, but it's not overpowering. The more you put in there, the less you're gonna like it. You need just a hint, and I can almost guarantee you that because this is a trend, Dr. Pepper will have canned this by the end of the year.
I don't know if they need to can it as long as you have to buy Dr. Pepper to do it.
Yeah.
That might
Fair point.
actually be the not the point.
Might just partner with the pickle company.
They'd have to make a whole new recipe.
Yeah.
So would you drink this again? Would you make this for yourself?
I would try it again. Yeah. I would try it the way that people are doing it in drive-thrus, where they say, hey, just drop a couple of pickles in there. Because that's what it started with Sonic. People going to Sonic and doing this.
Okay, but are people doing that because it's actually good, or are people doing that because they wanted the internet to be like, oh my gosh, you're so edgy,
There
putting
were
pickles in
6
your Dr.
people
Pepper?
that walked out of the boardroom at Dr. Pepper and said, we're putting pickles in Dr. Pepper.
Let's get an influencer out there.
You just got to say one time somewhere publicly, everybody's doing it in the car.
And, and here we are.
So 5 out of 5 stars. What do you give it?
I'll give it a 3.5 to 4.
And does it appeal to your Dr. Pepper senses or your pickle senses? Or scratching both
It
itches?
really is kind of a mishmash of the two because what you've done here is you've taken Dr. Pepper, great on its own. You've taken pickles, also very good.
Mhm.
You put them together.
Mhm.
You made a drink out of it.
I understand this more now. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's kind of a Venn diagram where they cross. That's what we're drinking.
Man, I love a Venn diagram.
Abby, you are a pickle fan and a Dr. Pepper fan. How many stars out of 5?
I think I agree with Ryan, 3.5 to 4.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I would try it again. If I did, I think I would just stick like a whole pickle spear in there. And I think that would be a good balance.
There is a key question coming up, which is, are you going to eat and will you like the pickle?
I would eat and like the pickle probably.
I think the pickle might be the best part of it when you're done with it.
Usually the cherry at the bottom is like of a sundae or
kind
something.
Kind of absorbs the flavor a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait for that review. Brad, you tried it. You don't mind either pickles or Dr. Pepper?
I actually like pickles and Dr. Pepper, but I'm going to give this 1 star.
Womp, womp. Well, 2 out of 3 radio people agree.
If you look
it's
at
better than average.
I've been trying it at different levels and different times just to see, and Ryan's right. The pickle flavor does get stronger as it goes on, but I don't need that flavor in my Dr. Pepper. It just doesn't go. It tastes like an accident.
24 flavors.
Now 25. I wonder if it would be
Isn't it
better.
20, it's 23 flavors?
Yeah.
Oh, you already had added one.
Yes.
I quit.
Show's almost over
Yeah.
for the day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good grief. I wouldn't worry too much about that because I look bad in it.
I
So
looked
let's
away
just
and
go
she's
ahead
gone.
and just set it aside and move on. I wonder if you just added salt to a Dr. Pepper.
No.
And I'm not saying you just put a salt
Why?
shaker in there, but I wonder if there's a way to master that, like to just make it a little salty.
No, I think that the pickle flavor is important, that it's a pickle and not just salt. But it tastes like an accident, like I accidentally dropped pickles in there, and not like a Bob Ross happy accident. It's like, oh,
To me, it kind of
That's
tastes
unfortunate.
It kind of tastes like summer to me. Like barbecue, grilling, you're outside.
That
You
is
got
a
your
great
Dr.
review.
Pepper, you got your
I love it.
hamburger. It's great. Tastes like summer.
To me, it's
How
like
about let's add some mustard?
I'm not a mustard fan.
You're like, I draw the line there, Andy.
Abby's like, are you crazy?
Yeah,
Mustard.
I'm the nut here.
You ever
got
been
some
dressed-
horsey sauce in there, horseradish, a little on the rim. Should we do it? Are you okay?
Sure.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm
we might,
ready.
We might carry this
And
over.
now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Workers remove apparent marijuana plants from Wisconsin Capitol Tulip Garden. Someone planted dozens of marijuana or hemp plants on the Wisconsin State Capitol grounds. When they sprouted among tulips, workers were instructed to take them out. A spokesperson for the Department of Administration.
take them out.
Yeah, take them out. Get them out of there.
Yeah, and I'm going to need you to put them in the back of that car.
Can you put
Careful
those in
with
this little baggie?
You can weigh them out. I've got the scale here. We just drop them on there before you put them in
Dry
the car.
that out and throw that away on my scale.
You don't mind just trimming the edges a little. They're not, the Department of Administration is not responding as to how the plants may have gotten there, but they're gone now. Annie, are you okay with gardening?
I appreciate it. I don't have time for it. There is nothing that I am more guaranteed to do than kill a plant. And it's not because
You hate plants?
I'm trying and failing. It's because I'm not trying. Like I said earlier in the show, I'm one of those people who waits for the grass to just die so you don't have to cut it. So
Your plants are so thirsty.
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
love
"Please."
looking at them. I do not have time in my day to care for another thing that I need to keep alive. I'm focusing on my kids, and they're doing great.
You got a doggo. You keep her alive.
Yes, that's exactly
Rosie's doing
right.
Great.
I don't feel like a failure because I don't try to garden, but I do. My mom's a master gardener, and she is absolutely fantastic at gardening. Has the most impressive gardens that I know of at a home, and I don't think that I don't have the skill. Don't have time for it, so I'm not angry at it. But
really good gardeners, as I understand it, also speak to their plants. They speak positivity and they play nice orchestral music. Wonder if the opposite would be true.
You can feel Annie's facial expression right now.
You know, if you walked past it every day and you're like, you look like dog turds.
The Mythbusters actually did that.
No way, really?
They did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you shut up, you plant. You're a racist.
Yeah, the positive stuff worked better, though. So just
So
maybe
it's
be
true.
nice to your
So it's true.
plants. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Man killed by moose after trying to...
Abby is fantastic. She's like, this drink tastes like summer. And she's like,
be nicer to the plants.
Actually.
Let me tell you a little bit about that actual
Actually,
stuff.
Ryan is trying to derail the segment with ridiculous assessments, and Abby's like, I happen to have some information on this.
They really did that study, Ryan. Oh, never mind.
Ryan's like, oh, it's so close. Way to be, Abby. Coming in for these all the time.
Man killed by moose after trying to snap photo of newborn calves. A 70-year-old man in Alaska was killed by
Like calves, moose, or
yeah,
like
moose calves.
a little
calves?
bit
Killed by
Little baby cows.
or like his
a little baby.
Get that moose away from those cows. They're just babies.
Well, it's actually a cow moose, which I didn't know was a thing. But a 70-year-old man in Alaska was killed by a mama moose after trying to take pictures of her 2 newborn calves. According to the man's hiking partner, when he realized the female cow moose was agitated, he tried to run away, but it was too late. Fun fact, we don't know exactly how this man died because the other man with him ran faster and escaped.
It's the rule. You don't have to be the fastest. Don't be the slowest.
So paramedics showed up and they're like, oh, yeah, this isn't good. Annie, are you okay with Rocky and Bullwinkle?
What are the phrases that came out of that?
Moose and squirrel.
Moose and squirrel.
No,
Squirrel.
I've never heard that before.
That's the only one.
That's it. That and Boris and Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't really know much about
No.
it. I mean, it's definitely the right time.
I didn't think you'd be okay with this guy getting killed by the moose. I didn't know what else to ask.
I mean, I'm not like okay with it, but you should have been faster.
He should have. More than $18 million worth of meth was found hidden inside a squash shipment. U.S. Customs and Border Protection intercepted 1,400 packages of methamphetamine inside a shipment of squash on a tractor trailer in California.
Butternut?
The drugs were squashed inside the squash. The driver was arrested and is now in
They were
custody.
in the squash?
Yes, they were mushed in the vegetable.
Stupid question.
Okay.
Are the squash like the whole plant? Like the squash is intact.
The picture I saw, it was more of a zucchini squash shape,
but like the plant, not squash like you would find in a jar that was.
Yeah, it was like the plant, like you'd buy like a zucchini or a
The
squash.
vegetable or
yes,
fruit
a vegetable.
or whatever the heck it is. I
with,
told you I'm not a gardener.
with $18 million worth of meth.
So they took the drugs,
Smushed it in there, squashed it in the squash,
Oh.
packed a tractor trailer full, and drove it around California until they got caught.
What am I?
Let's see how long it takes.
I mean, that's a really good study. And then what happens when you do get caught? They're like, you were fine.
Have they ever done that on Mythbusters?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what am I okay with or not?
Are you okay with squash? You like them?
No, not really.
No?
No. I would like to like them, but it's always me trying to act fancier than I am. Like, yeah, these are colorful veggies. I'm one of those. Hard pass.
Was it somebody trying to deal meth or somebody trying to get more people hooked on squash? You okay, Annie?
You don't get the stinger. It's not your show.
I already hit the button, Ryan.
Next.
Should I keep going? Okay. Las Vegas restaurant hosts upsetting Bluey-themed event, leaving several kids in tears.
Oh, no.
This was at the Dirty Dogs Bluey Day. The Facebook event advertised face painting, special treats, and meeting Bluey and friends. More than 3,000 people responded, and all was well until a Bluey impersonator showed up in a cheap costume with a human face and a big old beard sticking out.
That's not Bluey!
It's actually called Dirt Dog, not Dirty Dogs. Dirt Dog apologized and said they deeply regret how that all went down. Annie, are you okay with people pretending to be Bluey?
There are a lot of local people who will wear a costume that is not a sanctioned costume, and they'll do parties. And I'll see every once in a while people who hire these people, and I'm like, if it passes for the kids, then it doesn't matter.
This one didn't. No, they didn't like it.
It's a dude with a beard.
Yeah. It was a really bad. It was like a Bluey dog head on top of this guy's head, and just his like full beard sticking out.
But how is that the case? And you didn't know before you hired him that that's the way it was going to look.
I think that's why they're sorry.
Somebody's sorry.
Do people ever hire clowns for anything anymore?
I feel like we did.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And finally, McDonald's worker caught drying a mop under a fry warmer.
Wait, what?
An Australian McDonald's employee was caught drying a seemingly wet mop underneath the fry station's heat lamp. This happened while customers were in the building and was caught on camera.
Frey?
What was this? What kind of place?
FRY. A McDonald's.
Oh.
One customer claimed other employees worked around the mop, grabbing fries to complete orders. So this person's just holding a wet mop under the fry warmer to dry it off while people are just getting fries. Management was notified and released a statement saying they were taking the incident very seriously. But
is there an alternative?
There is no word on the employment status of the mop dryer or the fry getters.
The mob dryer?
the
mob dryer.
Mob dryer. Annie, are you okay with mopping?
I do. I like doing floors.
You do?
Mm-hmm. You see stuff like that happens. It happens in real life. For every time that it is caught publicly, how many times are these things not caught publicly?
Mm-hmm. It makes you never want to leave your house.
Yeah.
You trust nothing.
You don't want to know where things come from. You don't want to know how your food was made. If you complain about the mop that is dripping into your French fries to somebody who hasn't quite yet given you your food yet, they're going to do other things to it. You just got to think that that's the case. We have no expectation for decency anymore. Like, that should be a fireable offense. Because if you lack the common sense that is necessary to know how absolutely ridiculous that is, you should not be preparing food for people who are going to eat the food. And if you are in management and that is happening and you were supervising the person who was supposed to be, you should also, like,
there should be consequences.
There should be a purge of people.
I think it should rise to the level of prosecution.
I agree.
Because, I mean, you could actually make somebody really sick by doing that.
I mean, you're mopping with bleach.
It's not a clean mop you're drying out either. It's not like a brand new mop you just like stuck in some fresh water and put on the fries.
Ick.
That's really all I got.
That's okay. So same for us. The next 15 minutes, next 15 minutes should be great. Filled with Dr. Pepper, pickles, and clowns. Stick around. We'll be back for the results of the YouTube live chat poll. Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? Yes or no? We'll be right back.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
The Retirement Advisory Group, online, easy to find. Everything that I'm going to talk about, you can see there. RetirementKey.com. You are nearing retirement. You're at the end of your 50s. You're at the early 60s. Maybe you're in your mid-60s. You've already retired, or early 70s. Thomas Helbig and Bob and Tammy Kershaw are there to make sure that you make that transition in a way that really amplifies your ability to enjoy a worry-free retirement. That's the point, right? You can't go into retirement and quit working if you're not 100% sure exactly what's going to happen next. You need to know, and you need to be confident that all of your hard work has paid off so that your relaxation in retirement can pay off. They are there to help make sure that that is the case for you. 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. Just give them a call and let them know that you are ready to sit down and talk. It doesn't cost you anything to sit down and talk. After you've done, it's completely up to you to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to move forward. No cost, no obligation. All the details online at retirementkey.com.
Say hello to Lumi, the whole-body deodorant developed with your whole body in mind. Pits, privates, and beyond. It's outrageously effective and clinically proven to block odor all day, anywhere you have body odor and wish you didn't, and keeps controlling odor up to 72 hours. Lumi is different. Developed by an OBGYN, Lumi goes beyond masking odor to control body odor in a way certain other deodorants and soap don't. Start controlling body odor everywhere, not just armpits. Experience whole-body freshness from Lumi Whole Body Deodorant today. Good Go to LumiDeodorant.com to be the best smelling you of all time. There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 203 and get 15% off your first purchase with code 203. Like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 203 for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 203 to save 15% today. LumeDeodorant.com.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The YouTube live chat poll of the day has to do with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Should RFK be included in the debates? Yes or no? We'll give you the results of this poll, and we've been talking about it
Hey,
as
it's
well.
Tom Ackerman. Where do you go for your annual
Tom
eye
Ackerman's
health
here, too,
examination?
just to stop in and say hi real
Ophthalmology
quick.
Associates, of course.
So, I don't know what that was. 2:49. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
Tune up.
We're here to help you get registered to vote, whether you're in Missouri or Illinois. Democracy 2024 on 97.1 FM Talk. If you need help getting registered, go to 971talk.com/vote.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Going places that I've never been. Seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Get out of here, Willie. It's my time.
Willie, don't do that to Annie. This is her show.
The YouTube live chat poll, should RFK Jr. be included in the debates, yes or no? Andy said that he answered no because he's not on enough ballots in enough states. Also because he has no realistic chance to win. He's just a spoiler candidate at this point. Do you guys agree with that?
I agree that he is probably a spoiler. He doesn't really have a chance to win. I do agree with that. So in the sense that he would be a spoiler candidate because of that, yes, I do agree.
It doesn't really matter if RFK Jr. says that he's not a spoiler candidate.
No.
It doesn't really matter if his purpose is to really win the election, because I think we all kind of said that he's trying to be the president.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs to win the Democratic nomination to be the president.
I think there are a lot of people that they might not have gotten into this race, Joe Manchin being one of them, who thought this year, the no labels party and all that, they were like, this year, if it's going to be Biden and Trump, man, America's going to be ready for a third party. I think there are a lot of people who genuinely thought that, a lot of people who genuinely believe that and will vote third party, but it's not enough to
I wonder how many
president.
people look at what the Democrat Party has done to Donald Trump and just shifted their way back into a two-party system because they feel like Trump's getting hosed. I think that there are those people as well. Mike said if RFK Jr. is on the ballot in all 50 states, he should be able to participate in any and all debates. Let's go to Joe. He said, give RFK a participation ribbon, but no debate. I'm sure that would make him very happy.
They'd be happy with that.
Joseph said, I think keeping RFK out of the debate hurts Biden, more establishment suppressing him. I'm all for it. JC said, if you are on the ballot, then you should debate. I mean, it is consequential to me. We did the math. If every one of the 10 states that he is on the ballot or almost on the ballot in, If he won all 10 of those states, he would have 123 electoral votes. That is less than half necessary to win the presidency. So I don't think that you can really look at that and go, yeah, this is worthy of our time. California, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, New Hampshire, Hawaii. Now, I was going to look at these and see if any of them are distinctly red states. I guess Idaho is. I don't know that Idaho is really looking for a third party. Utah, Nevada, California. I mean, California is decisively blue, but he could hurt Biden there. Or, I mean, if he's on that ballot, he could impact Joe Biden in a way. I mean, think about how many people are moving out of the state of California. Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake, they are added to the list. Biel was on Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa, which is, it's a radio show. It's a Sirius XM show. They revealed that the family's decision to move away from Hollywood was to get away from the paparazzi. So they said that they are now, I don't know if they're moving. I had it here and then I lost it. But people are regularly moving away from California for alternative reasons, and a lot of them leave, and it's like you can hear what they're saying without saying the words. They now split their time. Timberlake and Biel split their time between Nashville, Tennessee, and Big Sky, Montana.
Oh, that's a good choice.
It's a dramatic lifestyle choice. I mean, imagine being somebody, and this is not these two individuals. I haven't read through the politics of any of it, and they're both kind of popular stars that probably don't want to get too far into politics. But, you know, if you're going to move to Tennessee, Montana has everybody but one senator as a Republican. Why would you put yourself in a position to live under that kind of oppression?
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, especially with coming from such, we can't use the word privilege, though, can we?
No.
That's not okay anymore.
Gary says, no, they shouldn't debate. RFK Jr. has no path to the general, so why have him debate? Chris says, I said no, but I could see it working out well for the Democrats if he did, because it gives them a fallback when Biden blows out. Any chance that Biden goes down and they just shift to RFK Jr.?
Ooh, I've never thought about that.
I've never thought about it. I will say, though, that I tuned into this show yesterday for just a few minutes, and you asked this question on the air, and so I made it the poll question today.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That was probably the 2 minutes we actually discussed it.
It was in passing. It wasn't a big thing, but I thought that's an interesting question. Should he debate? I wondered where our listeners would be. I'm an emphatic no. Unless you could actually win the presidency, which you cannot do if you're not on the ballot. Unless you can actually win the presidency, I don't think you should take time up in a debate. Ryan?
I'm a no for now. I am a yes down the line if he does add enough states, and I still think he might. So it tears me up a little bit to say no, but right now it's got to be no.
I'm a no. I don't think that he will add anything to the debate or change the debate in any meaningful way, and I don't think he was invited to the debates.
Doug said RFK Jr. ought to be in the debates. Excluding him only shows cowardice, much like avoiding debates in the primaries. Well, I don't really agree with that, Doug, because just because he is on the tip of, I mean, honestly, let's be real about this. People know of him and talk of him because he's a Kennedy. Mm-hmm. His legacy, name recognition is the thing that has made him relevant even at this much of a margin. Vicky said whoever's on the ballot should be in the debates. Pon said, I said yes, only because I think he would be the only one that would talk policy instead of bashing the other guy, but I would not vote for him. And Guy said, I said yes, anything that can confuse President Biden even more is what the debates need. Okay. Would you say the resounding comments that we got were pretty opposed to it?
Yeah, I think so.
Should RFK Jr. be included in the debates? We polled over 200 of you. 70% of you said yes. That's pretty wild.
That is interesting.
Imbalanced. Interesting. And I'm kind of glad to see a consensus from y'all. All right, stick around. The Mark Reardon Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk, next.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility in this election year? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 38 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing, it's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more